What's up? All right, let's get this going. Everybody's back. What is up, guys? Welcome back to the stream. As you can see, I'm not even going to attempt to try to have any order here. You see what's going on right now? We're having the 2001 end of the year survey compiled by my friend Ben, who has took his time and put all this stuff together for us. You see our special guests in the building. I'm just going to let everybody go through and introduce themselves as if you already don't know who these people are. But start from the top. Duff, take it away, sir.
I'm first. Hey, I'm Duff. I ride with Unicycles and I'm an old dude.
He took mine.
Hey, I'm Sensei. You guys have seen me on the show. Thanks for coming out. Appreciate y'all.
Hi, I'm Ben. I'm from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And nice of you to come out and see this event.
Hey guys, I'm Lutalo. You probably know me. Some of you probably know me on social media by my handle, Shango. Nice to be here. Thank you for inviting me, guys.
Thanks for joining us.
Yes, sir.
I don't know if Stride, can you hear us? Can you talk?
Yeah, guys, sorry about that. This is Stride. Thank you guys for inviting me. If you can hear me, good. I'm still trying to figure things out.
We can hear you.
All right.
Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah. I'm Mike. I'm a Swedish rider. I live in Stockholm, born in Canada. Been riding unicycles for a little over 3 years, and I work at, see if I can find it, Lazy Rolling.
Yeah. You already know it's your boy, the Black Cobra, Massachusetts rider, one of the few. But I may hail from here, but I ride anywhere. If you haven't seen me, you will.
I'm Dale from Down Under. Yeah, you probably know me for my love of Gotway, but you know I can also ride okay.
You're not country.
What time is it there where you are?
It's just past 11:30 in the morning.
That's not bad. Okay,
that's good.
I'm in the future. Monday.
Oh yeah, it's the next day there, right?
Aren't you supposed to be at work?
He's like, "What's my trail ride going to be like tomorrow?" And I'm like, "Most people want to know the lottery numbers."
That's what I would ask.
Yeah. I want to ask, are you still gonna be Gotway only fan with all these wheels coming out?
I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
Don't get him started, Cobra. Are you serious?
Let's face it. They've pumped out 3 suspension wheels in the time that King Song's been doing the S20. So we'll just see how it turns out.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I don't know. Flip, I don't know if you got an agenda. If you do, let me know, because you know me, I'll start rolling.
No. We definitely Ben. You can start it off and let us know what we're doing, because like I said, Ben has some goodies for us, man. Like
yes.
So Ben, you take it away.
So,
Excuse me.
So this might make all you guys look real small if this starts sharing.
There we go.
Is it sharing yet?
One second, brother.
Yeah, we can see it.
There we go.
Okay. So I'm going to run all my slides right through Excel because that's where I've created all my charts.
Okay.
You may have seen this survey. I ran it at the end of, I started it at December 31st, and it ran through January 14th. And we got 137 people to respond, which was better than I expected. Hopefully next year it'll be more people. And not everyone always answered every question. I tried to make it easy. I didn't want to make all the questions required. In case anyone's questioning the data, this is where I threw it out so I can get some responses. So mostly Facebook. So I just wanted to put that in there as disclaimer. Oh, the other disclaimer is, recency bias is going to be a thing here. People are going to think probably whatever wheel they like best is the one they have now. We're going to see that. I think it's pretty natural. So I'm going to move into kicking this off. Where were the people from who completed the survey? And as you could probably guess, almost everybody's from the U.S. You can see the numbers here. I don't know how big I need to make this, but this isn't that interesting of a slide because it doesn't, there's not a lot of highlight here going on.
All the ones is funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. One rider. So if you took this survey and you're in Sweden, that was you.
That was Mike.
Yeah. Good job, Mike.
Thanks. Gotta represent.
So moving over to the US, I also asked people what's your zip code, and I was able to map this out.
Wow.
And I mean, there may be a flag there individually for you if you're the only guy in Montana. So this kind of, you can see kind of how everyone's dispersed. I think it's pretty even. We got a clump in Colorado, probably because Seth reached out to the EUC jumpers. Maybe that's a local group that he gets a lot of popularity from. And it's interesting that his group event that he's going to run here is going to be right here in Arkansas. So you can see that's kind of the middle where everybody is. Not sure how much more information we're going to gain from this, but we're just kind of getting started here. So I asked people, when did you start riding? So you can see that in the last 2 years, we've had a lot of growth. In fact, the last 2 years make up 75% of all the riders.
Wow.
Yeah.
So,
that's believable.
I had to give you that advice because I was saying you like to do that.
I hear something in the background.
Sounds like Dale.
Yeah, how do I mute my mic? Because I'm staying at a mate's place because I'm traveling. So how do I mute my mic?
At the bottom of the screen, it should show mute, stop camera, and all that controls right at the bottom.
Yeah, found it. Cheers, guys.
Yeah.
So when did you guys show up on this chart? What year did you guys start riding?
I think mine was 2019. I think.
It was 2020 for me.
Yeah.
Same for me, 2020.
It might, the end of 2019 was when I saw it, and I think, somewhere in there, 2019 to 2020.
2015.
Ah,
wow.
Yeah,
there you go.
Wow.
For me.
You said 2015 for you, Duff?
Yep.
2016 for me.
Okay. OGs.
Oh, yeah, OGs in the building.
Yeah.
Wow. That's something else.
it's a lot of change, isn't it?
Wow.
Yes.
What about you, Mike?
2018 for me with my 9-bot 1E plus.
There you go. Oh, that's the next thing. What'd you start on? I started on the V8. What wheels you guys start on?
Oh, let's not do that.
We gotta do that. Yeah, we got it. Wait, matter of fact,
Stride. Hold on, we didn't ask Stride. When did you start?
Is he on?
He's muted.
He's muted.
He doesn't.
I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah, he made me realize.
Okay, I started in 2016 on a V5F. Actually, no, on a V5. Sorry.
V5. Wow.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, Wheeler, you 2015. I think you got the record. So what'd you start on?
I don't even know if it had a brand. It was just this little cheap clone thingy. Like it looked awful, but it had Bluetooth speakers. It was actually the first wheel I ever seen. Like a mate, this is a performer, come from China, and he had it, and I was like, wow, and I bought it off him.
Yeah.
So
Did it
was
just
it,
have one wheel or two parallel wheels?
Just a single, yeah. But it was just a cheap clone thingy, 350 watt and 132 watt hour.
Wow.
was it all white and had black letters that said wheel, or was it all black
It
and
was-
had white letters that said wheel?
It was all white, but I don't think they even bothered to put a name on it.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
They probably wrote "good luck" on it.
It should have said "Welcome to the rest of your life."
That's true.
I think I learned on a M10.3.
Oh, that's true. I remember
Wow.
It's not easy to learn on.
that. No.
Air wheel
Actually,
X8 for me.
Marty recommended that I get an M10.3.
Okay.
I took his advice and I picked one up. Yeah.
Wait, hold on. What was that, Flip?
Yeah.
Don't try to slide it in there. What was that,
Yo,
Flip?
I tried to, man.
No,
Everybody
no,
let
no.
it slide except you, Cobra.
No,
Everybody
what was
let it. So yeah, I bought an Airwheel X8 brand new off eBay for $400. So that was my first wheel. But I ordered the Tesla before I even got the Airwheel X8. If that makes up for it,
Wait, no.
Right.
So somebody actually bought an air wheel?
bro. It's here right now. I'll show it to you. It's here.
You're saying you bought that while the Tesla was actually available.
No, I didn't even know. I bought that first before I even knew about the Tesla. And then like 3 days later, I found the Tesla and I ordered it before the Airwheel even came to my house. So
You would have been like, damn.
And you didn't return it?
nah, I still have it, man. Listen, y'all can make as much fun about the Airwheel as you want. I'll tell you one thing: that is one of the strongest shells I've ever seen on any electric unicycle.
I believe it.
You can literally throw that thing down a flight of steps, and the shell won't crack, won't scratch, nothing. So
it won't turn on again, but hey, the shell
yeah,
won't
that's true.
crack,
too.
it won't scratch.
That's why I threw it.
Right. He's trying to get it from here to there, so he just tossed it. No.
I just threw it. Yeah.
But it's the same with my 9-bot. You know, my 9-bot is taking a beating, and I thought the Nikola, had like an indestructible shell. They were like making clips a couple of years ago where they were jumping on the shell, and I'm like, wow. And then some guy mails me like a couple of weeks ago, and he crashed this Nikola, and he see this big crack and hole in the shell.
Mm-hmm.
And then we start talking about, but isn't that the newer Nikola that has like a more brittle plastic? And today I go sliding out on black ice. I tell my friends, look at this Nikola, it's so much fun. You can do a motorcycle lean on this turn. And you guys have to try it. And then I do it, and I slide out and I fall.
Oh, wow.
And I get home, and when I get home, I'm like, I got a small crack in the shell.
Oh.
And you know what I did? I got some black tape. I put it on, and it's as good as new. There
you go.
That's how I solve all my problems. I just put a little bit of tape on it, and then we just pretend it never happened. Tomorrow I'm gonna go to the dentist. Well, today, but still, I got quite a few hours. I'm gonna go to the dentist, and there's gonna be a snowstorm. It's gonna be amazing. Man.
Oh
Yes.
man.
It's gonna be great.
Uh-oh.
All right, we didn't finish. Ben.
I started on a Swagtron swag roller.
Jesus.
A what?
You know why I'm laughing? Because I remember both that and the air wheel. Because I was looking for wheels. I'm like, nah.
Isn't the Swagtron the dual wheel?
It has dual wheels, yeah. So it was easy to learn.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I bring it to events and let people learn to ride on that one because it doesn't wobble side to side
Yeah.
very much.
Okay.
I tried one of them a few weeks ago, and I looked ridiculous on it. Those things are tough. Like if you're used to the single wheel, and you don't have any experience on those dual wheels, and you get on one, like even as an experienced rider, you get on that thing, and you're like, whoa, you feel like a total noob.
That's something else. You can still buy the dual wheels?
I bought it used.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
paid $140 for it.
Oh man, you beat me.
That's good.
Yeah.
No,
right,
you bought yours new. That's good. So
I think the InMotion V3 was also a dual wheel.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Mm.
I met a kid at the park, and he was riding an actual unicycle, a manual unicycle. We don't even know what to call them anymore. We have to like explicitly call them manual unicycle.
That
They're the analog version.
He learned how to ride my MSX in like 2 minutes.
Wow.
And then 1 week later, I see him on an InMotion V3.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Some people get it real quick.
Oh, yeah.
I think the V3 and the Swagtron are made by the same company because they're very, very similar.
Yeah. All right, so come on, man. We ain't done yet.
But Lutalo.
Oh, me? Yeah, I started. If I recall, I started on the big boy wheel. I started on a very old King Song. I think one of the first 18-inch wheels they made, the 18A. I think that was the wheel that I rode. Yeah. So it was pretty cool. I've never trained on smaller wheels. I'm a big guy, so I never went for the smaller wheels.
Right.
The smallest. I do own a lot of smaller wheels now. I own a V5, a V8 InMotion, V5 and V8. But those are the smallest wheels that I own, and those are pretty much, other than the M10, the smallest wheels available. But I use those to train people and lend them out but I personally don't ride them very much because they'll, they start screaming as soon as I get on them.
I was about to say.
So I've always kind of been, I've always kind of went for the big boy toys.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm not gonna lie. Y'all, if y'all see my video on the M10-3, I still get comments on that. They're like, really? You didn't ride no M10-3? I said, I swear I did. Look at the video.
When I saw you riding that, I thought about getting one, but I talked to E-Wheels and they said, no, you probably want the V8F instead.
Yeah, no.
They're fun for 5 minutes.
It definitely only for small, like certain purposes.
Yeah.
Like you said, man, training people, like there's certain wheels that I'm like, I don't want to keep, and because my stable can only be 3 wheels deep, because I promised, I can't hold on to some of the wheels that I would, because I would keep them just for training people. The 16X, I had to let it go, and that was hard for me because that was the perfect wheel to train people. I had people get on my Sherman and they was like, oh hell no. They got on the 16X, they're like, oh, I can do this. So I was like, so the smaller wheels are good for training and stuff, but really it's you can't, like, I don't know, they only have their purpose. You got to keep them in their zone.
They're good commuter wheels.
Well, the problem I have is commuting on something like that. I can see myself forgetting what I'm riding.
Push it to the limit.
I think a lot of wheels that they serve a purpose, at least for me. There are different wheels that I would recommend to different people. Like back in the day when I had only one wheel in my stable, then I wanted a more all-around wheel, and my favorite wheel back then was the KS 18XL, because I thought that was the best all-around wheel available at that time, and to me, it still is.
It's a great wheel.
All-around wheel. I love that wheel. It's a great wheel. So that was the wheel I was riding at the time. But when I started riding, and I was doing a lot of commuting to clients, and I used it for work, home, commuting. I used it for recreation. I used that wheel for everything. But once my situation changed and I started riding more recreationally, I didn't have the same need for an all-around wheel. So I started buying wheels that were more purpose-built or more recreational. They didn't need to be, they didn't need to have the best trolley handle. They didn't need to, beat it for that. I started buying the wheels that I wanted to ride in the way that I wanted to ride them. And that's kind of how I buy wheels now, because now I'm 100% recreational rider. I don't have a functional purpose for an EUC. I use it to have fun on, and that's it. And that's pretty much my purpose, and that's pretty much my priority when I buy wheels now.
Yeah.
You don't use it to go to Dunkin'?
What? Say what, Ben? What'd you say?
He said you don't use it to go to Dunkin'. That's a Duff.
Yeah. No, man. I gotta stay away from
the Dunkin'.
How much do they pay you for those Dunkin' commercials?
Right.
Big
sometimes,
it's common, I'm telling you. It's common.
It's all fun.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy. Definitely. So Ben, was there more that you wanted to share with
there's
your
a lot more.
No,
Ben?
yeah, we got lots of slides here. So
okay.
The next slide is how many EUCs do you own?
Oh.
And you can see a lot of people have one or two. And that's I don't know if that surprises you, and I don't know how many you guys each have. Who here has the most EUCs? I only have 3.
Yeah, I think the record is still held by 2 different people.
Marty.
V and Marty, unless somebody else has got them beat now.
I've only got one.
I've owned up to 13 wheels at once, and I think I'm somewhere near that now.
Wow.
But most of my wheels are like my rule in the house is, there can only be 4 wheels, in my house. That's imposed by the boss. Yeah. So
mine was 3.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. So the rest of them are in a storage facility, or they're being, ridden by people. Some are just not being ridden at all, and some are being ridden by people to train. But I'm really, like downsizing wheels. I don't like to, own a bunch of wheels that I don't ride. So I'm trying to just get to the point that I'm those 3 or 4 wheels that I have downstairs. Those are the wheels that I ride. Those are the only ones that I'm interested in keeping.
Yeah. Isn't it hard though? Isn't it hard to like limit? Like, I don't know about y'all, but when this field, or I'm trying to be kind at what I call it, because we all are addicted. It's this thing that we have taken part in is hard to stop. Like, I want every wheel. I want to ride every wheel. I want to experience every wheel. I want to do everything on every wheel, and it's kind of hard to limit it. But at some point you do have to go, okay, maybe I'm a little carried away.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
That's I know what that point feels like.
It's tough to do, because I ain't gonna lie. After today, I wanted to come home with 2 new ones.
Oh my God. How many you have right now, Cobra?
Yeah, like I said, 3. That's what I'm supposed to stay to. I had to promise that I would stay to 3, and that seemed to keep a little piece in the house.
Yeah.
So I'm maintaining that.
Yeah.
If your missus drives the car, just say, "Well, you've got 4 and 1 in the boot, so I can get 2 more."
Yeah, there's no, like, as it is. I agreed to 3, but her question was, why would you need 3? I'm like, you don't understand.
Exactly. You don't understand.
How many purses does she have?
Or shoes?
Right. I tried that, but as you know, those arguments can't be won.
Yeah, I know. It was a good try, though.
Steer them a little, but you can't win those arguments.
Yeah.
You win if you get to keep any in your house.
Right.
You win.
And you guys, and think about it. I had a horrible fall and broke myself up bad. So she was like, "Oh, and you keeping those?"
Hey, I got that too, man. Yeah.
I was wondering how that discussion went for you, Cobra.
Yeah,
after your accident.
It wasn't good. It wasn't good. And you gonna ride it again? Yeah. And then EUC Vibes loaned me his V12.
He did, yeah.
Like, so now you got 4 wheels? I said, but it don't belong to me. It's a loaner. He just wanted me to ride it because he can't right now. That's all.
Yeah, Mike, what about you? How many wheels do you have right now?
Not counting the 9-bot-1A Plus, I have 3 wheels.
Okay.
So I have the MSX, I have my expanded Nicola Plus. So my Nicola Plus is like the AR Plus.
Right? So 4 wheels then.
And then I have the EXN. And
Nice.
then I have more purses than I have wheels. Except we call them man bags in Europe.
Yeah,
sure.
For us,
we're gonna go with that. We're gonna go with that.
That's right. How many wheels do you have currently?
Who? Duff?
You strike.
You strike.
I'm going up the line.
I have. Let's see what I got. So I have the 16X, which I rode yesterday. It feels pretty good around the neighborhood. And then I have the MSP Torque, MSP Speed, the EXN, and the 84 volt. But the 84 volt is down right now, so I got to fix that. But that's pretty much it. I also have the Tesla, but it's done.
Oh no! Oh no!
You killed
If you go to his bookshelf and open the right book, a wall will open and he's got another 40.
Right?
You got a false wall.
Ben, what about you?
3, and my wife was, the first one was just $140, so it wasn't, considered too much. But when I bought my V8F, it was $1,000. I had to convince my wife, open up let me do it and stuff, and it was only, it wasn't too long after that I realized I had a fall, and I'm like, suspension would be really nice, and I had range anxiety with the V8F also. So I ended up getting the V11 used, and she's like, well, you're going to get rid of the other one. Like, probably, but I'm glad I hung on to it. I got a neighbor kid who rides with me sometimes. He really likes it, and I would say to anybody out there who only has one wheel, when your wheel breaks, you're just basket case. It's really nice to have that extra wheel, so when your friends are going out, you can still join them, even if it's the beat up wheel, the old one.
Yeah,
true. Facts.
My brother.
It's also good for having friends that you're trying to get into riding, so you can ride your spare wheel and they can come with you and stuff. Like, it gets people into the sport as well.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah,
I have 2. I got the Tesla V2. It's modded up, and the RS High Speed, and I'm trying to squeeze another one in.
Good luck, my brother.
Yeah. Here comes the best question. If you could only choose one more wheel, which one would you choose?
Wow. Yeah, that is a good question.
Dude.
For me, it's super easy. It's so super easy.
Yeah, me too.
I would just get the Master. End of story.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, that would be the on my list. And the reason why I would get the Master is because I would use it mostly as a street wheel. I think if I was going to do more as a more of an off-road thing, I might go for the S20 if I was more of an off-road rider. But because I would use it as a street wheel mostly, because that's how I like to ride, I would go for the Master. And maybe when they come out with another Monster Pro, I'd sell the one I have for that one. Yeah, straight up.
even for off-road, I would take the Master over the S20.
Really?
Yeah, totally agree.
Okay. I would take the Master over the S20 just for like the stupidest donkey shit that you can think of doing, like going up like the stupidest hill you can ever imagine, where you're like you're afraid that you're gonna die. And I mean, my balls run out way before my wheels overlean and I'm going up a hill. But I mean, with a Master, then maybe I would put on my helmet and then I'll just like go up the most ridiculous hill and with a leash on and everything. And then I know at least that the failure would be my own and that the wheel won't like start overheating as I'm going up a ski hill like I did on my EXN. It just overheated on the top. On the Nikola, once I was going to go up a hill and I was going to start on off-road up a hill. And when I stepped on the Nikola and was going to accelerate, I pressed through every magnet on the planet. It just went brrrr, and it just, I just went like straight down, I'm like, okay, I guess I got to take a rolling start. But I mean, the things they've been doing on the Master, and for me, I still call them Godway. I don't care about the big goat. It's just Godway. For me,
big goat.
Yeah.
That's how you say
it. They just threw everything into this wheel, Yeah. It's like a Big Mac combined with a Whopper with the chicken wings and KFC and everything. It's just like, it's just going to do everything. It's going to be faster than any wheel. It's going to be a high torque wheel with faster than 100-volt high-speed wheel. Come on.
And it's only the first of many to come. And it's only the first of many more to come.
It's going to be truck stop chicken. You think you're buying KFC, but you're buying chicken from a truck stop.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't buy it.
I don't buy
Sorry.
That's all right. I just don't buy it yet.
Oh, don't start that Bugatti hate. Don't you do it?
Listen,
I'm gonna interrupt you right now, Cobra, because the truth is, I know you're already against Galway. So here's the thing, right? But here's the thing, you might agree. You might agree with me, Cobra. So the thing is this, right? Bugatti, right? So King Song came out with the KS20. They've been testing it for a while now, and they've been testing it way longer than we expected. Then, you know, Bugatti said in the back, we're like calling out Bugatti, wow, King Song is the new master now, like blah, blah, blah. So then Gotway was like, you know what? I'm not going to try to create anything new. I'm going to just create what you guys love, and I'm going to give it to you as soon as possible. And I'm going to give it to you with way more power, way more performance, so you can't complain about anything. And then they did it with the master. And
Exactly.
the one thing I like about Gotway is that we can rely on their quality in terms of performance. I didn't say quality in terms of the overall thing, but I'm just saying in terms of performance, we know Gotway is not going to come short. You know what I mean? Right now, Afiz just did a video on the KS20. And what happened? He started hearing a knocking sound from the freaking motor. And plus the 126 volts. I think it was, I can't remember who did the video, but he was like, several of those guys were like, out of 126 volts, they were expecting a lot more torque. Now, you know, with Gotway, you're not going to lack any type of torque. And on top of that, they don't even need to prove to you anything. We just know Gotway made it and it's good. And that's what I love about Gotway, is that we can beat that thing up as much as we can, and it's going to keep pushing. It's going to, and their quality in terms of performance is pretty much why I would absolutely choose the Master as the next wheel. I think King Song has a lot more learning to do. I hope the KS20 works out, but honestly, it doesn't look so good right now.
Okay.
Well, I love King Song wheels. I've ridden King Song wheels for many years, but when they said that they were making a performance wheel, you know, I couldn't take that too seriously. I had to see, the product before I, embrace the idea that, okay, this is a true performance wheel. And it seems to me that, the S20 is sort of disappointing some folks in terms of how it accelerates and how long the delay with the torque onset and different things, different performance aspects of that wheel. But and I agree with you, Stride. I think that, if you want the most badass wheel that you know when you get on it, you're going to be able to handle your business and do what you want to do on that jump. You know what I'm saying?
We gotta let that
definitely Bigode is definitely the one,
It's totally true.
Definitely.
It's totally true.
Yeah, definitely the one. Definitely.
All the names disappeared there. I don't know what happened there.
Probably because I'm just putting the comments up.
There you go.
With the S20, if I could say something real quick, we had a chance to ride it today, and I'm going to give the pros and cons, and then Cobra, you can come back in and come over the top.
I'm ready with the hammer. I'm ready with the hammer. Go ahead.
Okay.
Oh boy,
you pushed it a lot harder than me. That wheel is quick.
Mm-hmm.
That wheel, I've watched some of these dudes on YouTube, their videos, how they ride, and when those wheels were beeping, these dudes were on MSPs and things like that. That wheel ran off and left them. That S20 was, I was shocked. Took off like a torpedo. Unbelievable how fast, quick that thing is. But my gripe with the S20 is some of the build quality on it. We saw that today. Part, where the pads were, some of that stuff. Someone dumped it, went down, parts cracked off, and then the battery, man. That wheel, you are not going to be able to push it that hard for long. I mean, if you're a fast rider, you're lucky if you're going to get 25, 30 miles out of it. That would be the only bad thing about it. As far as performance-wise, I mean, the thing is quick.
And people are saying 60 miles.
You're not getting 60 miles an hour.
People are saying, I'm a fast rider. And then the 60 miles.
Okay, let me just...
The V12 is exactly the same.
Let me just jump
the
in here.
The V12 is exactly the same. You ride it hard, you lose a lot of mileage.
Yeah, that happens on any wheel. But two things. Both wheels, because I heard the same thing on the Master. They said that the battery, they were upset and you said give you everything. It does not give you the battery that you need. It needed more battery than that, but they couldn't give it more battery because they were trying to emulate the S20 and give you the most form factor looking as close to that, because that was the wheel that everyone wanted. So they were trying to give it to you in that form factor. So speaking to a couple of people who spoke to them directly, and they were saying that, you know, they told them you should have put more battery in it. That's not enough battery for what that master is supposed to do. And they said that's the most battery they could fit in what they were trying to do as far as copy the S20. Let's be real. Okay.
I find that really hilarious.
Hold on. Now, let me tell you, I'm not telling you I'm not going to love the master, because I have a feeling I'm going to, but let's just keep it real. I know, look, I beat up on the GOAT only because of the things that have not only I've seen, but what's happened to me and what has gone on in our community. I never take it from them on performance, though. On performance, I'm not going to lie. They definitely got the formula maxed out on performance. So I give them credit on that. But on this one, they didn't put as much battery, even as they wanted, because in discussions with people, they were like, can't you push it up and like give it a little bit more? And they're like, that's all we could give it. They wanted to put more battery because they know that it's lacking in that. So it's gonna be the same thing. When you push it, it's gonna dwindle quickly. On another note, today, everybody was beating the hell out of that wheel and pushing it hard for 4 hours straight. And then finally it got down to 20%, and it was getting some tilt back, and then they turned it off, turned it back on, and then they were able to ride it again. But for almost 4 hours, people were beating that like a stepchild. And I mean legitimately, because like he said, people were doing chase cams trying to record behind them. And I heard like, what was it, the RS and EXN? I heard a couple wheels beep, 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 while this dude was like zipping on this wheel. Not saying it's the fastest wheel, because we know the top speed is only 43, but look,
it gets up there so fast.
As a big dude, my concern was, look, can it handle me? And I was leaning on it, and Sean could not keep up with me. He was trying to film me from behind. I left him over the speed bumps, because I was like taking speed bumps like it was candy, like bang, 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 bang. I was like, yo, I didn't even know they were there. I was just leaning on the wheel, and I was like, oh shit. And I looked back, and Sean's way the fuck back there. He said, dude, I couldn't keep up. And I was like, okay. I said, well, then I'm happy. I know the wheel is not a Gotway, but it performs like you think it is. I'm telling you.
I did hear some beats come out of it, though.
That was when we got to the 20%. Yeah. That's when we started hearing the beeps, when it got all the way down in the battery. At the end of the day was the first time I heard beeps, because he went by and I was like, oh no, that was the other wheel beeping. Then he came back flying, and I was like, oh shit, I did hear beeps.
Yeah.
Then somebody else banged on it, and I was like, oh, it's beeping again. I said, okay. Then we looked, 20% battery. I was like, you shouldn't be banging on any wheel at 20% battery.
Duff, you have the S20 coming, right?
Yeah, I'm supposed to be in that batch of 40 that's coming from E-Wheels. Yep. So hopefully early March.
Awesome.
When is your expected delivery date? Or are you not sure yet?
No, I don't have a date. I just know it's on the boat.
Yeah.
One thing I want to mention, you guys are talking about the Master, and I don't know if everyone saw, but I guess Gotway announced that they're going to be using the Litech batteries now, I think, for all of their wheels, which is a big improvement. That's great news.
It is
nice.
Those are the batteries that E-Wheels was putting in the Gotway wheels as they came over. People would have them switch them out for them.
Yeah,
they're way better. I mean,
they're much better batteries.
I got those in my RS when I bought my RS. E-Wheels put those in there. Yeah.
Really? Wow! Congrats.
Yeah, and I believe they're going to be using the Molicel cells in those Litech packages as well. So that's going to be awesome.
Well, yeah, because they have like a much higher amp rate than the batteries they've been using in the past.
That's going to be awesome. If I'm not mistaken, they're going to lose a couple of watt hours, but I don't think that's going to be that big of a deal with the Litech package.
It'll actually even out, because the lower amp batteries, when you push them, and the voltage side won't recover. It's just lost.
Yep.
So if you have like cells like a Molicel cell that are really insanely high amp rating, if you push the wheel really fast, even though you have lower watt hours, you still won't get as much voltage sag, and especially in the cold. So if I compare my Nikola and my EXN, my Nikola has Samsung 50E cells, and my EXN has the LG cells. And even if they're the most modern LG cells, so they're not the burning cells that are in the MSP and the older Nikolas, you know, these are our burning wheels, the big burning sensation that we're having. But you know, it's like the Nikola will outperform the EXN when it comes to range and when it comes to voltage sag and so on and so on. But the EXN is just like ridiculously fast. The EXN is faster than the S20 also. You know?
Yeah. Well, it's supposed to be.
It's not always about being the fastest wheel, though. You know.
No, it's not.
It's also how you get there.
Well, that depends on the priority of the rider. What the rider likes. That depends on what the rider likes.
You know, like I get to 50 k's an hour, which is what, like 30 miles an hour, and I'm like, that's enough for me. So like. All of these wheels are already within my parameter. So for me, I'm going for something that's going to be quality that I can trust over something that's going to be the best on the market. You know.
Hold on, guys. We have one more guest.
Oh,
bring him in.
Zen. What's up, man?
Zen, what's up?
Zen, you're muted, Zen.
Turn on your mic.
Your microphone is muted.
Your mic, Zen.
We can't hear you.
What country is in? Keep driving.
That's
there you go. What's up?
Getting a lot of feedback. I just want to say hi, guys. The race went amazing. 33 people. Biggest Foley race ever, man. It was intense. Most intense race ever. The
Congratulations.
I got second, you know.
There you go.
Wow. So I got second in the first one, second in the second and third. It was fucking fun, man. So
nice. Got footage, man. Got the footage.
Second is big. Second is big.
Wait, Duff, grab me one.
Who won? Who won?
Alien Rides rider named Show. He was way in front. Nobody could even touch him, man. He was like I was in fourth, and Chucha crashed his V12 in front of me, so I passed him. And then a Nikola rider. It's funny, the 16-inch wheels are doing really good on the track because they're so nimble. It surprised me.
The same thing happened at Cobra's rally.
Yep.
Say again?
Same thing
happened at my rally.
Yeah, when Cobra had the rally at the go-kart track, the 16-inch wheel was giving everybody the business.
Yeah.
So was the winner a Nikola rider?
No, EXN. And then I got second on the Sherman.
Okay. And EXN, suck it.
Yeah.
Suck it.
B12 almost got third with Chooch on it, but yeah, he slid off the track. The Nikola rider clipped his pedal and flew off the track. And then I just got lucky like I do.
Good. Awesome, you weren't as lucky last year, Zenly, so it's nice that you were luckier this year. You were lucky last year.
It's funny, all three races I've gotten second place. Consistency, I guess.
Oh, you're there. You're there, bro. You're right there.
That is an awesome panel. Good looking panel.
Yeah.
I'm glad you can join. I just got a notification. We got 2 more people trying to join, but we can only have 10. So if you guys are watching, give us a little bit and maybe we'll try to cycle you in a little bit later. But for right now, we only can have 10 people on the live. Unfortunately, I may have to upgrade this to get more. But please, if you guys are watching, we'll definitely try to get you in at a later point. So
I think your panel's good. I think 10 is enough, bro.
I'm you tell it.
8 is enough.
Yeah.
Well, since you're great having here, Ben, you wanna continue with some of the data you have?
Yeah.
Hold on, let me switch back over here. 1 second.
Ben, you're muted.
Your mic, Ben.
He got it. There you go.
So I was just doing the same thing. My mic was muted, and I'm like,
They asked people how many wheels they bought last year because it's supposed to be an annual survey. So we got 87% of the people bought a wheel last year.
Yeah. Wow.
So it's not everybody. Some people might think that. And the average person bought 1.58 wheels. So there's a lot of people buying more than one wheel.
Yeah.
It was 1.5.
Surprising.
I didn't get one last year.
Yeah, somebody bought a half a wheel.
That'll be 2.
A wheel and then a half of a wheel.
That'll be 2 half e-bikes.
Counts as half of
last year, right?
You know, those are all the half e-bikes.
Right.
Exactly.
Right. Half e-bike.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't really want to ask this question, but I thought this would get people's interested. This was one of my earlier questions in the survey. And I kind of asked people, what's your favorite brand? And I really don't like that because it's probably the brand that they most recently purchased. So you can see there's a distribution here. In Motion is a little bit ahead of Gotway. And we had one guy who had a rock wheel, which I didn't even know that thing existed. And, but I know the guy now. And we had people taking the survey, 9 people who didn't have a favorite or didn't have an EUC. So they're probably people who were following this and interested in an EUC. So I'm glad that there's people out there who are kind of following and want to learn more.
Nice.
I'm not going to bother to go around the circle here and ask you guys what your favorite is.
Well, I don't really have a favorite brand anyway. I have a favorite model or favorite wheel type that I like, but whoever makes it is who's going to get my money.
I 100% have a favorite brand.
So I asked people, what EUCs did you purchase last year? And I didn't want to include pre-orders because everyone says they're ordering something and then they change their mind. So I wanted to know actual sales. And this breaks down by all the models that I listed. I tried to cover everything. I had to roll up things because I had some of them, like I had the Nikola Plus and the Alien Rides as separate line items, and really it kind of wanted to roll this up a little tighter. But I can expand this here, and you can see that within the Bigode brand, RS had a lot more sales than any other model.
Wow.
But the next two, now this, the jump from this one to this one, the difference is I roll up the HT and the HS. So I'm eliminating the model when I move to the right.
Hey, Ben.
Understood.
Yeah.
Can I just say that your Excel skills are really, really strong? I didn't know you could do half this stuff in Excel.
It's actually pretty easy, but we can save that for another video. I can show you how to do it someday.
Somebody said in the comments, somebody said RS is making bank.
Right.
Especially the HT.
The RS is the wheel that you want if you're going to do jumps and shit, though. Oh, maybe the S20 now.
The RS just has too small a stature for me.
It's a stout. It's built like a toaster, man. Like
it's the stature is so short. It feels weird to ride it for me.
I loved it. I loved the RS when I had it. I mean, I had the MSP. I have an MSS now, which is an MSP.
So the
MSP.
You got that
right, and I've had the RS. I've had the RS 19 as well, and I loved it, man. I mean, I enjoy riding that. The only problem I had with the RS was a problem that was mentioned earlier by one of the riders when we talked about range. Is that for me, when I ride an 1800 watt-hour wheel, I can ride it fast and hard for 15 minutes, and then it's beeping all the time. So that's the only issue I had. So I was only able to correct that. I corrected that when I stepped up to. When I bought an EXN is when I actually stopped kind of riding 1800 watt-hour wheels after that, because I was able to blaze on that EXN, kill the streets, and ride it hard, for a lot longer, and have a lot more fun on that than I was able to do on the RS 19. On my MSS, I can have fun for a little while longer because it's a 2250 watt-hour battery. But yeah, the street wheels, I love the RS as a street wheel. It's nimble, it's quick. If you can really have a lot of fun on that thing.
But the EXN is still, better at everything.
Yeah. The EXN is now my favorite street wheel. I loved it. I love that wheel. And it's the only one I've had that I regret selling.
Oh, man. If you
I
want to do
regret
something,
selling that thing, man. I wish I had it,
You
sold the EXN? Really stupid.
Yeah, I sold it. I had a Sherman and an EXN. I sold them both, because I'm trying to downsize my stable,
Right.
Trying to be, You know, trying to keep everything happy on the home front. So,
but you sold the EXN and the Sherman?
Yeah. I sold both of those.
Why? Do you have like a monster or something?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, okay.
That's why I asked you. That's why I asked you about your
Hell
monster.
yeah, I have a monster, bro.
That's the only reason I could think to sell the Sherman is if you have the monster right now.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what else you could have because the Monster Pro, I knew you had that, but I'm like, you sold the Sherman and the EXN?
Yeah.
But you have an MSS.
Yeah, but exactly. I still have an MSS.
You have a legit MSS, the M Super.
Yeah. The MSS, the MSS.
Yeah, we crashed it 20 times today at the skate park. The MSS.
Ooh,
no.
Ooh.
Yeah, Lucas came up. Lucas, the Polish guy. No,
I get nervous when I have to ride mine. I don't even want to ride it.
Hey, I can make you a shipping label for Jersey if you want to ship it up here.
The MSS is a unicorn, man. That's why.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I know why you baby it because it's like a unicorn.
I baby that wheel, and I try not to ride it at all if I can avoid it. You know, but I the problem is that, you know, you need to ride small wheels. For me, I feel like I need to ride small wheels like that to keep my skills up. Because I ride these big wheels and I get on the little ones and I'm all wobbly. You know,
That happened to me today.
You know, so I try to ride the little wheels all the time, and then when I want to go out or go on a group ride or something, I'll take the Monster or one of the other big wheels that I had.
Out of the 11 wheels that I've had, not one of them has been over 16-inch.
What?
Wow.
Yeah. I love the 16-inch. My first 5 were 14 inches, and like that was a long time ago. You know, I like the smaller wheels because I'm a show pony. I'm not a super fast rider. I'm a show pony. You know what I mean? Like, oh yeah. Look, don't tell anyone. Don't tell anyone. But I had to fix my King song, so I borrowed my mate's MSP HT. So I was riding a Gotway for like 4 days because I couldn't be stuffed taking my wheel apart.
I'm telling the group. I'm going right.
It was my fault. I changed my casing a couple of weeks ago, and then I just traveled 2,000 k's in a truck, and it was in the toolbox on the side of the trailer and bouncing around because I didn't silicone the bolts like to stop them coming undone, and the motherboard come loose, and it started doing the shaky shit. So it was my fault. But yeah, I was riding a Gotway because my King song wasn't working.
Congrats.
Your secret's out, brother.
I'm going to be quiet about that. I'm going to remind you. I'm going to remind you of that every time you jump on the Gladiator chat talking about Gotway wheels.
You've never ridden an 18 or a 20?
Oh, I've ridden them. I've just never owned one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got 10,000 k's on miles on my 16X. So.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Wow. So guys, let's say hi to Thomas. Thomas is in the house here.
You know the vibe.
You know the vibe.
You know the vibe.
How you
What's
doing?
up, Flip, Duff, Mike, Sensei Vegan,
Hey, yo, Tommy, I ain't seen you in a long time, Tommy. I ain't seen you in a long time.
Yeah, no, it's been a minute.
We just saw each other a couple hours ago.
Cool.
Yeah, we were in the city at the S20 demo. It was pretty awesome.
Oh, cool.
Sensei was there too.
Yeah, good time.
Bunch of guys.
So Tommy, you just jumped in. When did you start riding, and what wheel did you start riding?
Okay, my first wheel was the Z10.
Yeah,
baby.
The Z10, and that was 3 years ago.
Okay.
Because actually,
Duff got the Oculus.
he had that 10. He's like, yeah.
Hey, hold on, Duff.
Hold on, video with the Oculus on while I'm riding my EUC.
Hold on, Duff. Let's go.
I got it unlocked.
Hold on.
You should get a photo of your face and put it on your VR, so when we're looking at you, we can still see your face.
Yeah.
Oh, geez.
Wait, I'm gonna try and view you guys in VR. Hold on. No.
You can do it.
You can do that, but I ain't gonna do it.
Oh, everybody got it. I gotta get it.
No, I'm just poor. I'm using my phone case.
This is the best accessory for you.
I'm one of the guys.
Jeez, look at all these VR nerds. Stuff.
It's the best accessory
I
for
got my
electric
caster on,
motorcycle.
so I can see you guys.
Yeah. Oh, wait, there we go. Vibes link. Yo, what are
Feeling
you
left
wearing,
out.
Vibes? Yo,
My
he
lighting.
got his old man mask on.
Oh, that's awesome.
This shit?
That's awesome.
We didn't have this when I was growing up. Oh my god!
Damn punk kid.
Don't go over there.
I can totally see you guys.
Oh, man.
Oh, what a stripper.
Thomas is that bum lying down on the bike path on the blind corner.
Hey,
Out in Colorado.
yo,
Oh my gosh.
on the
Church
real,
almost
though,
ran me over.
if you guys haven't tried VR yet, you need to jump
All
on.
right, guys.
Guys.
Whoa.
You need to
Yeah,
jump on.
totally, man.
On stream here.
It's fun.
Right.
It's fun. Actually, I just started a Discord server, the Cobra's Den, bringing EUCs and gaming together so we can all talk. So
Cool.
I'll put that link out later. You guys can jump in so we can talk some more and get you guys all in VR so we can all be VR nerds.
Hold on, Cobra. I think we need to talk to Oculus first and get a referral code before we just start pushing their
Yeah,
product.
man, you're right.
You know what I mean? We need some sponsorship or something.
Okay,
Free
wait.
game.
I got a referral code. I'll put it in. I'll put it in.
You get
Well,
like,
let's let
great
that
idea.
continue. Let's let that continue with
Yes.
the data.
Yeah, Ben.
What's up, Ben?
Data.
sorry, Ben.
We cut you
Yeah,
off.
we're here for the data.
Yeah.
So last year, Bigode sold the most according to the survey, but they have a lot of different models.
Right.
So
Right.
it wasn't like the one of them sold. And then if we look here, the chart got messed up. It's
Yeah,
supposed
messed
to
up
be the
the
names.
chart.
It should have been the names across here, but those names would be right here. So which EUC sold the most last year? The RS, the V11, and the Sherman were the top 3 sellers last
No
year.
surprise there.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the V12 wasn't there the whole year, so I don't know where that falls. But based on the discussion I see, those there's a lot of talk. I mean, if you're into jumping or dirt riding, you're in the RS category. It seems like.
I'm into making money, and you're making me want to sell these wheels with these graphs, man. I try to get that money. How many people bought these wheels? Oh my god!
So, how many miles do you ride in 2021? And before we start answering, I would just, because we're still early in the year, I would encourage everybody watching to open up their smartphone app and do a screenshot of their odometer right now. So that way, when they get to the end of the year, they'll know how many miles they rode this year. You might have to do it on multiple wheels.
I was gonna say that's kind of tough.
Yeah, right.
My problem is I always burn out the MOSFETs like after a few hundred miles, and then I start all over.
Okay. So according to the survey, we've got a bunch of people who haven't ridden. So I didn't really know how to put a number in there. Some people ridden 100 miles, but it looks like last year the majority of people rode between 500 and 1,500 miles.
What?
I would ride 1,000 miles.
I did that. I did that in 6 weeks.
Oh, with the 16-inch wheel.
Yeah.
Did you
I
take
love
the
it.
survey?
Sorry?
Did you take the survey?
Oh, probably not. I should have. I probably just missed it.
Oh,
I do more riding than groups these days.
Yeah,
People don't appreciate my input.
So Ben, on the far end, I couldn't really see the chart, the data that you put up. On that far end, what is the mileage what is the highest range of mileage that people rode?
I went up to 5,000 miles.
Did anybody ride that far? That much?
Yeah,
last year?
there was 12% of the people ride that much.
Okay, exactly. Okay, that's what I want to know. Okay.
So I think with the analysis we learn here is there's a lot of people, you guys might call them casual riders, but they still put in a decent amount of miles.
Yeah.
And there's some people that go this far, and then there's a diehard people that are really into distance.
Yeah.
So
I've done 10,000 miles in 18 months.
Wow.
That's a whole bunch of riding, buddy.
Yeah.
God, that's what I do.
That's Marty riding.
All I
Right
do,
there.
really.
A whole bunch of riding, buddy. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I reached out to Marty, but I think he was at the race as well. So, because it would be nice to get his mileage counter on here.
Oh,
Speaking of Marty, who's going to Southern California trip next year? Duff, you going?
Well, I think the big talk for this year is the AMP games. Like, how many people are going to make it to the AMP games this year? Because that's definitely going to, it seems like it's going to be a really big event, So
yeah,
I
said he's not doing the tour this year.
Yeah, he said it was last one was last year.
Right.
Oh, so I missed it. Damn. And I was gonna say I don't want to say I'm gonna do it because last time I said it, bam, I fell.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so I was like, let me just see how it goes. I don't want to predict that again. But if he's not doing it, then I guess that's a wrap.
Well, since we're talking about events, don't forget about the groundings in June and in August. The groundings in Chicago. June, and in DC we're gonna have the groundings event in August. So it's the groundings 2022. Yeah,
actually,
so that's
heard
gonna
of
be
it.
big. It's gonna be hot. It's gonna be a lot of fun. We had crazy fun last year. There were over 200 people who came to that event. So it was big last year. It's gonna be big this year. So hopefully, spread the word. You guys won't miss out.
Yeah, definitely. I'll mark my calendar.
I'll make the DC one. I couldn't do it last year. I got freaking whacked.
Yeah, and
is that like all PVs?
And again, I just put that event together. I just got the date for us again for the Wheel Life Rally. So we're gonna be, doing it in September, the 18th on Sunday. So that's definitely, I want as many people to come out as can. And anybody that's been there will tell you, you can be the fastest rider, but this is a challenging course. So
track is
yeah, man, you got to come ready because it was some tough competition, and it's a lot of fun. So if you guys can make that, it's definitely something you want to see.
One word of advice: if you see somebody go down, don't laugh, because 9 times out of 10 you're gonna go on a turn and fall down yourself, man. Yeah, dude. Yeah,
it's a lot of fun though.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
So I would like to make it out there to the groundings event. So
I'm gonna make it to the DC one.
I may have to come out that way. I haven't been out that way for an event yet, so that's something that I could drive out to. So I may put that on the calendar.
Oh yes, sir. Please do.
Yeah,
please do.
Definitely.
And the Chicago one is gonna be fun too, man. So if y'all can make that one, we have so much fun. The rides are like crazy. They're so much fun.
This is the Chicago one. I'm sure
we always have something really, really nice lined up. We haven't really done the itinerary yet, but it's definitely coming together. Oh yeah, that's something. That's a great that's what's up.
That's the Chicago one.
Yep. That's Chicago.
Nice.
Yeah, that's Chicago.
We
had a lot of fun that day, and there were day rides, night rides, and it was crazy. We had a lot. Hey, that's me.
He said, "Hold up, that's me. That's me."
DC flag.
I like your clock pads.
Yeah, yes, sir.
His setup is tight.
Yes, sir.
Tight.
Yeah, it was incredible fun. Chicago's a beautiful city. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, they got the Lake Michigan there, the lakefront. It's just a beautiful city. It's a wonderful place to ride. So if you guys haven't experienced that, you might want to put that too. Awesome.
Yeah.
And, the Chicago event is in June. The DC event is in August.
Nice. Well, DC is my stomping ground, so I definitely want to pull up. I haven't rode in DC yet. So I lived there for over 10 years. So I was about to say, didn't you used to live in DC or something? Yeah. I lived in Delphi, Maryland. I was like, 10-minute walk from Northwest.
Okay.
Went to middle school and high school in Maryland.
Yeah, man, you definitely got to get here and ride with me, man.
Yeah, you already. I planned on it last year. It's just, it's events come so fast, and then you have to, get everything together to go. And I didn't have anybody going with me, but I'm definitely making it out this year. So.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's at least for the groundings in DC, because it's gonna be a lot of people there. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Oh, that's a fact.
We just opened our borders. If you guys want to do it in Australia next year.
Sounds like a plan. I like to go down
there.
Sounds like a plan.
EUC Wheeler, you ever ride with Arc Rides out there?
Oh shit! I can't even stand watching his videos. He's probably a nice dude and all that shit, but it's like the title's something about whatever, and then you're like, oh, that looks interesting, and then he's talking about losing his windsocks for 45 minutes and random shit, and my brain's like, do not compute.
But he can slide. No. But he can slide. He can slide though.
Oh, on the beach, Look, I'm sure as a person I'd get along with him, and he's probably a cool dude and all that sort of stuff, but I just can't. My brain, like, I don't have time for all the videos, and I like it to be informative.
I think we all need.
I know what you mean.
Get down to Florida and ride with Duff through the swamp, through the Gator Swamp, if you really want to test your skills.
Oh, that'd be awesome! It'd be like riding in Darwin.
I was just there today actually because they were fixing the boardwalk that leads back to the swamp, and it actually is fixed. So yeah, when I get my S20, I'm definitely going in there.
That was the craziest video I've ever seen in my life.
That was the
and the fact that you're talking to those gators like they're little puppies. Hey, little buddy, how you doing, buddy?
Yeah, I have issues with animals.
Let's get back to Ben's data.
Yes.
Sorry, Ben. Thank you.
Fake news.
Realness back in there, Mike.
Yeah, thanks.
Data.
A 10-hour long clip with 5 minutes of data.
All right, Ben, take it away, brother.
Okay. So I asked people, what percent of your riding is for commuting? Because there's people who are vocal about their commuting experience. And I didn't expect anyone to be 100% of commuting, but we do have some people that are pretty high. That means they're using their EUC mainly for commuting, and they're not using it for recreation. But I myself, I don't ever commute. I live in kind of in the suburbs, and there's no even shoulders on the road here. So
is group rides count as commuting, or is that recreation?
Recreation.
No, that would be recreation. Commuting
Okay.
is like getting to work or getting to
There's a
groceries
massive
or
difference then.
So, do you guys commute on your UCs?
Mine,
No, all for fun. It's all for fun.
Yeah,
It's
for me,
not
it's almost
transport.
it's almost 100% recreational for me.
Yeah.
Riding UCs.
Yep.
I don't commute with them.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I stopped commuting because I didn't want my coworkers all in my business. They started like, "What is that thing? What is that? Oh, you still riding that thing?"
If I go to work, I'll always take the wheel. If I go to work, I'll take the wheel. You know?
Nice.
Oh, but you work at Lazy Rolling, the best place to work at.
Right, exactly.
Now I just work at home.
That's not really work.
Now I just work at home anyway.
You're like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Work. Don't you own the company too?
That's not really work.
I would just rip there like crazy though. When I was gonna go to the office, I would just like rip like crazy. And if I would take the MSX, I would like I'd like stay on the bike path. But as soon as I'm on the AXN, that's just like screaming to go on the road with cars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
It's hard. It's hard not to when you got a wheel that flies.
Yeah.
Especially when you have a big wheel like the Monster Pro, even the Sherman. I mean, you can't help but want to hit the road and fly.
Right.
Lazy Rolling. Is he doing a promo for you?
Oh, yeah. He's doing a promo. Thomas is repping always, man. Awesome. Thanks, man.
Nice,
Appreciate
man.
it.
69.
Appreciate it.
This will keep you safe if you cut out, but if you wear Lazy Rolling, you will never cut out. That's a fact. That's on the last chart. You'll see
especially
it,
on an S20.
Yep.
Well, my son commutes all the time, to campus, and they commute daily, and those guys, the wheels that they like are when I had the 18XL, they like that. I have an 18L now, but one of my nephews on the other side of town is using that as his bed. But they use the 18XL, they use the 18L and 18XL. They love those wheels when they commute. And also the Tesla. My son rides the Tesla V3 now, and he commutes with that daily. So I mean, even if he's driving, he'll throw it in the trunk.
I don't know what it is about that Tesla. I love that wheel, man.
Yeah. So it's Tesla and 18L. and LXL are the commuter wheels around here.
Yeah.
You know,
The 18L and the 18XL, you know, they have a soft tilt back when you reach 31 miles an hour, and it's so firm. So to get it to overlean at 32 miles an hour, you have to press so insanely hard and hang off the front, but then you can actually overlean it. You know, so it's a really nice implementation of it. On the 16X, if you would do that on the 16X, you just like smack through it after 31 miles an hour. You know, that you can just press and you'll overlean it. It will beep at you like crazy. But the 18XL was really, really hard. Hopefully they'll do something as nice with the S20. But I've already heard of a couple of riders who have high speed overlean the S20. You know, so that's my thing about not non-Gotway wheels. You know, it's like the in motion ones.
Maybe they should learn how to ride.
True
I've never ever had a King Song drop me for no fault of my own.
Yeah.
Oh,
well,
of course.
Yeah.
That I know.
Over 40,000 miles.
Yeah.
I've never had a King Song drop me, and both of them I got away.
I was looking.
Any wheel drop me because
I don't wear protection.
I've never had,
you know, that's why I don't ride hard.
Of course, it's my fault.
Every time I've face planted, it's been my fault.
Anyway, every time I've face planted, it's been my fault, except for twice. And that's why I'm so burnt with Gotway.
I think I'm one. Me and him are probably some of the few that can play.
When you go down and you've done nothing wrong, it changes your world.
That's when Jason's getting the holy email.
Yeah,
it was actually my fault.
And I don't gear up because I don't like the whole hassle of putting it all on, getting somewhere and either leaving it on or trying to find somewhere to put it. And I like to have sometimes a six pack in my bag, and I can't fit all that shit as well. You know, I'm not a hard rider. I ride within my wheels limits, and I never crash.
Right. Planning on lazy rolling gear because you don't have to put nothing on.
Exactly.
Put on the pants and the sweatshirt, and you already got your gear built in, and it's comfortable.
Oh, look, I'm keen as in one of them lazy rolling jackets. They're dope, but you know, I'm poor.
I know the feeling.
I'm trying to choose my next wheel, and it hasn't even been fucking made yet.
Is it going to be bigger than 16? Or are you sticking with the 16?
Well, I don't know. The thing is, like, I'd kind of like to have the S20, but at the same time, I'm like, if they don't have the same problems as the other ones, I would like a V12 high torque because I can ride on one leg on that, like, because that's been a major issue with my 16X. It's the only flaw with it. Like, if I ride on one leg, because I'm 94 kilo, it burns it melts holes in my casing. So I can't do it, and I just like to showboat, and you know that on the V12 I can do that. So that's why I'm probably heading towards that wheel.
Got you.
For me, safety is only one thing, and that's being able to pass a car. That's like, for some reason in my head, that's like the definition of safety. If I'm gonna go and try to pass by a car, and I will suddenly at some magic point at potato miles an hour get a tilt back so that I'm no longer accelerating and able to pass a car, then I'm gonna die. You know, I would rather pass the 5 beeps on my Gotway and almost get an overlean and do that because even if I get the 5 beeps on the Gotway, I mean, what happens? This is the 5 beeps. Here's the 5 beeps. Here's the 5 beeps.
You should never put yourself in a position where if you do have a failure, it could be catastrophic. Like, don't be in front of a car where if your wheel does drop out, the car will run you over. Like, we've already seen one fella get cleaned up by a bus.
I ride a Gotway. The car is way, way, way behind me. You missed my point.
99%.
I don't ride a King Song. I don't have a car crawling up my ass. I ride a King Song.
But if you put one bullet in a 6-shooter and you spin it and you go like this, you're probably not going to have a problem either.
I hold it far away, man. The gun is far away.
Granted, everything goes
it doesn't hurt as much when you hold it farther away.
The car has time to stop.
I'm just sore.
Oh man!
All right, baby.
Go away, dude.
Gotta move to the next.
All right, let's
next
slide.
All right. No, it's been fun.
Okay. Take it away. So we talk about commuting. What is the other use of an EUC for recreation? Well, another type of it would be trails, and I think there's a lot of people who haven't experienced trails.
Yes.
And you know, maybe it's not for everyone. What this chart showed me was 31% of people don't ride on trails.
Wow.
So I would like to encourage people.
Yeah, trail ride.
If you got the right gear and you can find some tame trails, explore it sometime.
Yeah,
You know, when it's
trail
not
riding is
muddy, go with a buddy.
Yeah.
Trail riding is king.
I want to do jumps. I want to get my Mike Leahy on.
Yo, I may not send it like Mike Leahy, but I can tell you right now, it's a whole different vibe, trail riding. And obviously it's not for everybody because not everybody loves it, but Tommy, you okay?
No,
right. Vibes down. No,
get a pedal clip.
He said, "Were you wearing the jacket?"
I'm just gonna go out this camera.
He's okay.
No, the trail riding is
Thank
funny.
God for the lazy rolling jacket.
Until I started riding trails, I didn't realize how much fun it was.
Yeah,
I really didn't.
Exactly.
Josh, Ben's neighbor. I love it.
Oh God!
Just in case you were wondering who I am.
Yeah, Ben mentioned me at the beginning of the stream. Yeah.
Yo, you're funny. That's hilarious, Josh. You get mad props for that. Ben's neighbor.
One thing I noticed about trail riding too, it makes you a better street rider.
It does.
Yeah. Makes you a better street rider.
It does, because you have to navigate so much more on the trails. And even doing the rallies that I've been doing, I'm telling you right now, the V11, a lot of people were sleeping on, but I won the indoor rally with it, and I took second place in the outdoor rally because it just being able to navigate all the obstacles, all the dirt, all the jumps, all the everything. It takes a lot of work. Then you get on the road and you're like, yo, this is nothing. Let's go, son.
All right, Cobra, you my man, but I have to play devil's advocate here.
Go for it.
If it wasn't for the crash at the Real Life Rally,
which one?
At the end of the go-kart track.
I'm leaving on this one.
Ruben would have had that. Ruben would have won that.
But you know why the crash happened?
No, I know why.
No, wait. I don't think you really do. You know why the crash happened? Because I let it happen. No, feel me. Look, you laughing, but listen, he was riding my bumper so close.
Yeah.
I let him pass me.
Right.
Because he was gonna cause us to fall.
Right.
Anybody that rides that dangerously, he was so close to me. He was like sniffing my cologne. He was that close. And I was like, no, this dude is gonna run into the back of my wheel. So I eased up, let him pass me, and he did the same thing to the other dude.
Yeah.
And when they got so close, I said, they're going to fall. I know they're going to fall. They crashed, fell in front of me, and I had to weave in between them and take first place. Yo, if I'm smarter than them, that ain't my fault.
No, listen.
Justice has been served. Awesome.
For the record, what kind of cologne was it?
Yeah, some texting. Make that stuff.
You know, I think people should try every kind of riding. People should perhaps try everything, but eventually people are going to settle into what their spirit demands, what they like the most. Yeah. You know, but you should try, you know, everything. You know, I ride off road. I've had wheels that I use for off road riding a lot. You know, when I had my MSP high torque, that was my favorite off road wheel. I used to do BMX trails with that one. Nice. You know, we did a 200-mile ride up to, for a 200-mile ride up the C&O Canal. That was all trail, you know, and it was awesome. You know, it was muddy that day. It was a horrendous. I don't know who saw the video, but that was a horrendous ride. And what Sensei was saying about riding on trails, making you a more skilled rider. Anything that challenges you is going to make you a more skilled rider. That's why I'm a fan of, you know, practicing skills like, you know, pendulum swinging and skills on your wheel, because all those things, the things that EUC Wheeler does on his wheels, I think all those things make you a better rider because they help you to respond, you know, more expertise in an emergency and something happens. So, I mean, any skill you can pick up. I trained martial arts for years and I trained capoeira. So I would always get, you know, comments about it. Well, how do you use that in a fight? That looks fancy. That looks good. How do you use that in a fight? But you know, it's not always about what you do in a fight. It's about mastery of your body and mastery of your mind and mastery of yourself and mastery of the tool that you're in. With EUCs, it's mastery of the tool that you're riding, and that makes you overall. And I think that's why I feel the way that I do about that. You know? But I like Cobra was saying, people are going to, you know, what they like. They're going to do, you know, everybody's not for everybody. Trails are not for everybody.
No.
Jumping is not going to be for everybody. Street riding, like I like to street ride, is not going to be for everybody. That shit is harrowing for some people, you know.
Yeah,
very harrowing, you know.
Like definitely. You know, in Stockholm, we're like 50 riders in the group.
Yeah.
And if I put a street rider on trails, he'll have a heart attack. And if I get a trail rider on the streets, he'll have a heart attack. You know, it's just like, the cars. And I say, I'm gonna stay on the bike lane. And I say, you're gonna kill yourself on the bike lane.
Right. You know? Everybody should step outside their comfort zone because it makes you better.
Yeah.
Because it makes you better. And that's the reason we do that, to self-improve. You know,
Does anyone else here rode a manual unicycle? Because that's one thing I have done, and I feel like it's sharpened my regular EUC skills.
Yeah, definitely.
When I was 15, I used to ride a 5 foot tall manual unicycle.
How long did it take you to learn how to ride the manual unicycle?
It took me 3
I was
hours.
at my friend's house, and he didn't use it, and I happened to just pick it up, and I learned it in like about a week or two over the past summer. I practiced like every day.
Wow. Well, I watched a video once of some guy riding one, and I've seen guys on the trail riding them. Does that count? Will that help me?
Yeah, your experience.
You have a unicycle friend, you're saying?
Yeah, that's all I'm gonna do. I've been on a couple of bike paths downtown, and I'm zipping along the river, and here comes this dude. He's like waving at me. I'm like, oh shit, a real unicycle. I had to turn around and go back. I said, what's up, man? He said, that thing's amazing. I said, so's that. I said, you want to switch? He's like, nah. And I said, me either.
Definitely harder.
And I kept riding.
So Ben, besides commuting and trails, what else is there? I do a lot of shopping on my wheel. Is shopping on the list?
We didn't put any shopping on the list. I did see a comment recently in the forum. Somebody said, you know, with these wheels becoming so fancy looking, how am I supposed to take it shopping? Because it just looks like you're taking a dirt bike into the store instead of a black box.
It's a baby stroller.
Baby stroller.
There you go.
So let's move into a different topic here. Let's talk about what you're skilled at, because I was kind of curious. You know, you see videos of people doing things, learning things, or being advanced at things. So I wanted to know where people were, and this is a little bit hard to grasp this type of data, but we can see here that riding seated, lots of people have never attempted it, or they're not skilled at it. Riding backwards, 30% of the people have never attempted it, but some who have attempted it, they're not comfortable with it. So there's
I'll give it a go.
So you can see that there's people who want to do it. And there aren't too many people out there who say they're experts at riding backwards. Riding downstairs, now this could be, 1 or 2 stairs, or it could be a whole big flight of stairs. We see a lot of videos of that. And there's plenty of people who want to play it safe, but there's also a good amount that are doing it or trying it. Maybe it's not for them. We've seen the S20 going upstairs in videos, but most people, that's not really their thing. They've never tried it. Riding on 1 foot, this kind of surprised me that there's people who can do it. So right there in the middle fair is 40%. I don't know if you guys tried. I'm not sure what the advantage of the skill is, except just to see how strong your leg is.
Showboating. It's just showboating.
Showboating, yeah. Well, yeah.
100%. I do it all the time.
Yep.
Backward slalom.
It helps with your mounts and dismounts.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely a show off. That's my thing. Like, if you got it, flaunt it, and I don't have looks, so fuck it.
Yeah. So throughout the way this graph is, we kind of want to see people over in this area. People were trying to get better. One of the reasons I put together this survey was so that people who are making videos could consider who their audience is and what they should focus on. And we're going to get to that. There's going to be more data here.
Good.
So we got, people that are trying to pendulum. And I think that's good, especially if you're riding on street and you got to stop at a stop sign.
I think pendulum teaches you the most recovery moves. I think it's an excellent skill to practice, and everyone should do it.
Yeah.
It teaches you those little tweaks, those little twists, and those little tweaks that will at some point get you out of trouble.
Yeah, I still can't do that. I keep trying.
Yeah, I do it every time. They would do it every time you have to stop. Just try and rock back and forth on the spot. I can't recommend it anymore.
Yeah, I wanted to on my 16X. I was starting.
The best to learn recovery moves.
Yeah.
Have you made a video?
The pendulum has to be the most valuable, I think, skill outside of riding that I've learned. I would agree with that. Because it's definitely helped with my ability to recover and with emergencies and control.
If you're hitting a trail and you hit a rock and come off on a funny angle, you already know you've taught yourself the move to get yourself out of that instead of just coming off boom. Because you do it and you get a little bit off and you learn like the little quick twist will straighten you up a little bit and all stuff like that. And it teaches you stuff prior to when you're in the situation where you need it.
Yeah, and I often tell people that when they ask, what static skill that I learned on a wheel that I feel is the most beneficial, I often tell them that the pendulum swing is the one that I found the most useful. And it's the first thing I did on a wheel when I ever stood on a wheel. I stand against the wall and stood against the wall and pendulum swung it. So I felt comfortable on it.
I'm good. I could do it against the wall.
Yeah. I mean, the first time I stood on the wheel, that's the first thing I did on it. Stand, hold my hand on the wall, get on the wheel, and pendulum swing.
If I had this drink like 1 second earlier, I would have spat it all over the table then.
Okay. So we got on here going off a ramp. A lot of people aren't interested in that or haven't tried it. If you've got a segment of people who are into that. And I threw on some fun questions here, like riding a unicycle. And
that's
a lot
me.
of people,
I'm that 3%.
Yeah, that's Josh there.
Yeah. Apples and oranges. Apples and oranges.
I think a lot of people don't have access to a unicycle, so that might be why they've never tried it too.
Right.
So then I also asked the skateboard one wheel and e-skate question, because I think there's people who come from that background into the EUC, and I don't follow those boards, but I don't know that there's people who ride EUC that go to those items. It seems like the EUC is where people are moving towards. But we got a decent amount of people with a skateboard background. 30%. I don't know if you guys have ever tried one wheel or e-skate? Have you come from that background?
I skateboarded for years.
Yeah, I skateboarded.
I skated from junior high school all the way to when I was in college. Actually, out of college.
Yeah, I started on BMX and then I moved to skateboarding and then progressed up. Because before I bought the EUC, before I even knew about the EUC, I was watching Casey Neistat videos, and he's the one that convinced me that I want to buy an e-skate. And I was looking at the
boosted.
Yeah, the boosted board.
I almost bought a boosted for Casey.
Yeah, Casey had me convinced, and then one day YouTube suggested the Grandeur Life video to me.
Yep.
And I clicked on it, and I see Nate. They're flying through the streets of New York City on these one-wheel things. And I was like, "That's what I want right there." And that was it.
Yeah,
I never looked back.
Once you see it, it's funny for those of us who are really hooked on it. Once we've seen it, it's like it didn't take much more.
No,
I saw two of them go by me while I was filming shit in the woods, showing off this camera that I got. And they come by me and I go, "What the fuck is that?" And like I was instantly hooked. Like it didn't even I even touched it. I was like, I have to do that.
That's exactly what it was for me. I was instantly hooked when I saw these guys riding through New York City.
One had an MSX and one had a the Z10,
Mhm.
and it was Anthony and Jeremy, and I said, you know what?
Okay.
I said, let me try that, and right away I jumped on the MSX and I was trying it and I said, all right, I rode it. He said, oh shit, you got it? And I rode it around the parking lot, and then he said, try this one. I got on the Z10. I said, well, damn, this one just stands up on its own.
Right.
I took off, and they go, oh shit, you learned it in one shot. And I was like, hey, a week later, my V8 showed up. They were like, you already got one? I said, man, I don't slow. I'm not slow, man. When I want something, it's a wrap. I ordered it like later that day and shit, and it came a week later.
You're like Denzel. I'm surgical with this shit, Jay.
Hell yeah, man.
I tell you, it was crazy.
But then the V8 took me a minute to learn how to ride. I was like, oh shit, this wheel is a lot skinnier.
The first time I saw a wheel
balance
was it was Nate, and it had to be maybe 2016, 2015. It was on 8th Avenue and like 37th Street or something. And it looked like a 9-bot. I didn't know what it was. I looked at that thing. I said, I will never, ever ride one of those things. And that was the first time. And then during like the whole pandemic, I saw Chooch riding one. And then I end up buying one.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Hooked.
Yeah. Hooked.
Yeah.
All right,
I don't. Yeah, go ahead, Bill.
Okay. So I was going to ask you guys, what's the skill, if we went around the table, what's the skill you want to learn this year?
How to stop buying EUC.
Yeah, exactly. That's you. Hey, man, you stole my words. I was about to say that. You know what I'm saying? How to stop buying these joints so much. I want to stop buying them. That's what I want to do.
That's the skill I
want to learn.
I want to go a whole year without buying an EUC.
I've been practicing riding seated backwards. And the other night I was doing slalom through these cones, but I've been watching the Winter Olympics, like at the skiing where they smash into all the poles, and I started clipping cones and stuff, and I had a bit of a stack, but it was pretty funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, like backwards seated is what I've been practicing lately. But I'm sure I'll move on to something else. I'm getting pretty good at that now.
That backwards 360 that you did was incredible, Dale.
Yeah.
That was a fluke. I tried to do a 180 and ride out of it, but then it just fucking woo, and another twist come in. But I've done like thousands of them since then. It's one of my little party favorites. You know, go past the pole and give it a little flick and.
Very impressive,
man, it is Dale. It's always impressive to see you do your thing on your wheels, man.
Yeah.
Always impressive.
I love it.
Duff, what about you?
Yeah.
What about me?
What skills do you want to learn this year?
I don't need any skills.
I can do all those things, but poorly. I can ride backwards. I've done one-legged, and I don't pendulum. Maybe I should pendulum more, except on the M10-3. But I mean, I can do everything at a serviceable level. That's about it.
That's good.
You've gained our respect without fancy trick stuff. You're a good bloke.
No.
Plus, you do Dunkin' Donuts.
I do Dunkin' Donuts quite often, yes.
I just do the liquor store every week.
I hope they stamp your card heaps more than they should.
Like that, you don't want to see my liquor run.
I did want to mention, like you guys were talking about, like the other skills, like the one wheel and the e-skate. Like I actually kind of went backwards as most people do, so I actually learned EUCs first and then did one wheels and e-skates.
Oh wow!
I noticed. It was fun to see you ride the one wheel. I actually had a one wheel. I got the 9-bot, and then I got a one wheel.
Okay.
And then I got the MSX, and then I got the 16X, and then I sold the one wheel because I couldn't justify the one wheel anymore.
No.
Too slow and too low range. And before the one wheel, I had e-skates, and before those e-skates, I had other e-skates.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
See, I've ridden one wheel
coming. The one wheel GT is going to be coming about the same time as the S20. So
yeah.
Wow.
See, even the GT though, they're just too slow. I've ridden them on group. We did a group ride. And some of the people in the ride had them. I said, nah, fuck it. I got to give it a shot. So I jumped on a couple times, 2 different rides. And I said, okay, this is a fun little party trick riding around the parking lot. But when we go back on the street, you can have this shit back.
Yeah, exactly. It's just for fun. It's just for fun, you know.
Yeah, it's not about speed for sure. It's definitely not about speed.
And the E-skate, when we did remember the Sherman demo in New York, the year before last, one of the guys had an e-skate board, and I said, I want to try that. He's like, here. I said, all right. So I went around on it, zip. I was like, I've never felt so uneasy in my life. Because the control of it was in my hand instead of part of my body.
Yeah.
You know, like with Tyler, like you were saying, I too have studied martial arts forever, and to me, body control means everything.
Right.
So being able to manipulate what I'm riding with my body is, and dancing. Also, I love dancing. So being able to manipulate with my body means everything. So having the control in my hand, I was like, this is a disconnect. My mind was like not loving it. I was like, I don't like it. I don't like it. So
I'll look
Here with the class, Duff. Here with the class.
He did his beer run.
Yeah, I think I'm like Duff, similar to Duff, in the sense that I started with PEVs. I started on EUCs a long time ago, and then over the years I went back and like there's in DC there's a clinic every Sunday. Capital Paddle Sports, they sponsor a clinic for one wheels every Sunday, and I went there and I learned how to ride a one wheel there. And I got pretty good. It only took one day. You know, I'm not gonna say I'm an expert on the one. We got a guy, Javier, the number one wheel rider on the planet, you know, in terms of the miles. And this guy can do everything. He can do things on a one wheel that I wouldn't attempt, you know. But you know, I found them pretty easy to learn, you know, and learn to manipulate in just that one day that I was learning how to ride it. And I've gone back several times, and I've been able to, you know, ride it without any problem. So it's pretty cool. I enjoyed it. You know, I enjoy going backwards, but you know, I don't have a strong desire to learn other types of PEVs. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I love EUCs, you know, and I feel like I ride the best one. I feel like I ride the one with the most range, with the best speed. You know, the only ones that can claim to be faster, I guess, are the scooters. You know, you know. But other than that, and you know, I'm stuck on EUCs.
Same.
Yep.
If you got the best one that you think you could have, and fucking kudos.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. You know, that's all we can really ask for, isn't it?
Yeah. I want to learn how to ride backwards, but after hearing what you say about the pendulum, I'm starting to feel like, yeah, maybe I could work on that, and I could probably just do that in the garage if I get my V8 back from Josh.
Well, learning the pendulum learning the pendulum will help you with your backwards ride.
Yeah, they go hand in hand.
They kind of go hand in hand.
Yeah.
Just try it every time you stop until you got to go again, and the floor is lava. Golden rule.
I want to learn how to ride seated. That's what I want to learn.
Oh, that's the best.
I know how to ride seated, but I'm really, really liking these clips from Paul and August.
Yeah.
August was throwing it down today.
August was there today.
What?
Damn.
Yeah.
Those fellas are looking good, riding seated, man. Putting their hand down like Thomas, EUC Vibes, he filmed, you know, when August got his hand down on the ground and like sparks flying out and stuff like that. And it's like riding a mini motorcycle.
Yeah.
You know?
Although I will say I got a video of I didn't realize it, but I got a clip on my phone I just looked at before we started of August falling. I'm gonna have to send it to him because he fell and tumbled, and I was like, oh, I got him. And they were filming me with my phone. So on the S20, and when I left on the S20, he hit something and fell and did a roll out and everything, and I was like, oh, my man. But yeah, they do some fantastic things.
Yeah,
and I love the fact that they're sharing our love, our passion here with everybody in a way that some people will see it in a more positive light. I really like that.
Exactly, so that people don't go crawling up the NYC rider's ass and stuff. You know, I like their riding style. I do too. I love the NYC riders. You know, the Alley Cat race when Turbo won. We were doing the lazy rolling giveaway. We were gonna give away a jacket.
Yeah.
I gave him a pair of pants too.
Oh, nice, nice.
Because I was just like, I just said to Daniel, I said, damn, these guys are so damn badass. You know, these guys are like pushing the electric unicycles to the next level. Without them, we'll just be like,
you should send me some free shit while I'm still the best in Australia, because these other dudes are getting good.
All right, man.
Josh, what's your skill you want to learn? You're kind of a beginner. What do you want to learn?
From a practical standpoint, I'd probably say the backwards, because I feel like that helped me stop. And the only EUC crash I've been in is when I ran into the back of you when we were downtown. So that's probably what I'd say.
Yeah.
Man, I had a Sherman hit me and it fucking hurt. It hurts.
Yeah, I think the pendulum, both pendulum and riding backwards. I want to work on both. I can ride backwards a little bit, but I don't feel confident in it. And the pendulum, I don't know. I feel like on my 16X I could have did it, but now that with the Monster Pro and the Sherman, I'm like I don't feel as comfortable doing it.
M10-3, man. M10-3
yeah.
easiest wheel to ride backwards.
Or Z10. Or Z10.
Look at this.
I don't understand that stuff. I don't understand that. Like, I got on the M10. Like, the first time I rode a Monster was backwards, and first time I rode the V12 was backwards. But I got on the M10, and I'm like, how the hell is this easier? Like,
it's so easy.
But I don't know. I've learned it a long time ago. I've probably done 10,000 miles backwards now. So
Dale, please make a clip where you ride backwards
to
the liquor store and post it in reverse.
To the what store?
Nice.
Okay. To the liquor store. To the liquor store in Australia, you know.
Yeah.
Go for a ride backwards to the liquor store.
So I walk into the store backwards?
Sure. Do it like the music video. Do it for the music video. The scientist. The music video.
I don't know if you've seen my channel, but I'm not good at making videos.
It doesn't matter. Just record it and reverse it. I'm not asking for much.
I'll record it and I'll send it to you, and you can send it back.
Okay.
Can you do that on email? I don't know.
We'll figure it out.
We'll figure out something.
Yeah.
I could do that though.
It would be
how
fun
far?
as hell.
How far away is this liquor store got to be? Because
at least a mile. At least
after like 10 miles, you
no 1 mile. 1 mile at least. Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna do it seated or standing up.
So Ben, do you have some more data?
Standing is fine.
Anyway, let's get back
Let's
to the
go back
data.
to Ben's data.
We got more.
Mike, you've been keeping us on track for the data all night, and now you got us off track.
Yeah. Now you're derailing the whole thing.
Yeah. All right.
What's up, Mike?
Come on, guys. It's serious. Let's get back to the data.
So from our user's perspective, these are the things that they want to improve on this year. And I added a few things skills, which could be, just getting faster, kind of like you're a beginner and you just want to be able to be more confident. And then the people who just want to go, their goal is to go as fast as possible. Got to close the email. People who want a little bit more endurance, they want to go, or maybe they just want to enjoy those long distance rides. And we got a third of the people who are interested in dirt. So that could be the same people who were on the other page who haven't ridden on dirt yet.
Yeah.
So, maybe that's an enticing thing for them. And then I kind of plotted these out this way and put a graph in here to show you which ones are the highest ranking. So it does seem like people want to ride backwards is the most important thing to them for this year. I think there's a good argument for the pendulum. I think you made it today. It's like, what's the alternative to putting your foot down? Well, it's pendulum. So you want to keep your feet on the pedals as long as possible, especially if you're going off balance or something like that. The pendulum may help you get better at your balance. I don't say that from experience, but it just sounds like what I'm hearing here.
Extreme.
The real unicycle is not really hitting it very high here.
No.
So that's why I wanted to ask you guys what you were interested in. If there's no more comments, I'm going to move over to the next slide here. Okay. So imagine a scenario. We're going to talk about gear. What gear do you value the most? So you're going to just go on a quick ride, maybe around your neighborhood, say, hey, I'm going to hop on after work and just go for a quick ride. What gear are you going to throw on when you do this ride? And I'm not talking just ride into the mailbox, but you're taking a real ride, but it's going to be short. I was surprised. 95% of the people say they're going to wear a helmet. So, and that's a full face helmet.
I downgraded from a full face to a skate lid.
Same here.
Okay.
Same here. And I still barely wear
coverage
that.
You're going to get here. And then the secondary thing would be wrist guards, then knee guards and elbow guards. And maybe I should have accounted for people who wear gloves instead of wrist guards, because I don't know that there are a lot of people who wear both. I'm not sure what you guys experience.
Depending on
wear
how
gloves
cold
and wrist guards.
I've seen someone snap their wrists wearing wrist guards. Like, personally, if I'm gonna, gloves with padding there, that's good to me, because if I'm going down and my hands go out in front of me, I don't want them to slide and my face to smash into the ground.
Exactly.
Like, I would like them to grip so I can try and go into a roll or something.
Yes, sir.
So I'm not too sure on wrist guards. So I if it's what you feel is right, then go for it. But myself, I don't.
I like wrist guards personally because I've broken my wrist.
Snap his wrist like here, and it was like.
I like wrist guards because I've broken my wrist twice, and each time I broke my wrist from falling off of a wheel. From falling off my wheel. I broke my wrist twice falling off of a wheel. And each time I was wearing those gloves you're talking about, motorcycle gloves with no wrist protection. Every time I've fallen off my wheel with wrist guards, I've never injured my hand, except the last time where I broke my thumb. That was last summer. I broke my thumb when I was hit from behind by somebody standing at a stoplight. But I was wearing wrist guards that time and I broke my thumb. But I've never injured my wrist wearing wrist guards. And I've fallen a lot with wrist guards on.
You was hit by another EC rider, or you was hit by a car?
No, I was hit by another EC rider. I was standing at a stoplight. We were on a group ride, and I was at a stoplight, and standing there, another rider, I guess, couldn't stop or hit me from behind, and I fell forward. And I was wearing wrist guards, but I came down on my thumb and broke. And I broke the wrist. I broke my wrist twice, and each time I broke my wrist from falling off of a wheel, I was wearing motorcycle style gloves with just padding because my thinking was the same. I'd rather have protection from abrasion, abrasion resistance, and then I need that more than I needed the wrist support. And I found that to be, in my case, not true at all, actually, because when my wrist touched the ground, it did stop abrasion. It did help with the abrasion resistance, but I snapped my wrist each time. Each time.
Yeah, I've fallen a lot too, and every time I've fallen, the wrist guards, the ability to slide on my wrists was a lifesaver because look, I fell and broke my shoulder because I was going slow speed and fell straight down on top of my shoulder, and I wasn't able, because it happened instantly, I wasn't able to put my hands out and do the slide thing. If I was, I would have been better off. I slid across a bridge. I've slid a couple times, and every time I was able to slide and recover. One time I slid, my wrists went out, my chest even hit, and and then the chin but I had the helmet. So I'm like, and I got up, brushed myself off, and I'm like, thank God I was wearing my gear. So I love wrist guards. For me, it's
people underestimate slow speed crashes. They can be just as dangerous.
Sometimes worse.
Like this dude that broke his wrist like that, like he went down with his hands down by his side, and then because it didn't really have anywhere to go, it's just banged straight through there. But like I can understand, like when you're geared up for a slide, you fall differently. than you would if you were going down with only a helmet on, you know what I mean, or only some gloves on or whatever. Like when you go down like that, you try and go into a roll, but when you're going down with all the gear on, you try and go into a slide, and you'll utilize those pads on your wrist guards instead of planting your hands on the ground.
Well, the first time I broke my wrist, it really wasn't high speed. It was about 30 miles an hour, I would say.
Yeah. Well, I
And I was
fractured
on a-
mine doing like 15
Yeah,
kilometers an hour.
and the
Putting
wheel,
something in my back.
yeah, I don't know how. I guess it's 50 kilometers, right?
Yeah.
And the wheel had a blowout, and that's what caused the fall.
man.
Yeah, the wheel
Oh,
had a
that's
tire
sad.
blow.
I've
And
never
and
had
that's
that
what-
happen once.
Right, and that's what
Mm.
caused the fall. So that time I broke my wrist, I would say it was a semi-high speed type of situation. The second
Yeah.
time I was going maybe 2 miles an hour, and I hit a ballast that was in the road because I wasn't paying
Straight down.
attention. I was queuing up my music, and I wasn't paying attention, and I was just crawling along, hit the ballast, fell off the wheel, and broke my wrist. And it was actually the same wrist that I broke the first time.
Wow.
Yeah, and broke it again. Broke it again.
I bet that was a fun conversation at home.
Yeah, high and low speed, you can break your wrist.
Are we coming to a conclusion here that
We're
heavy
all just one
riders,
crash away from a different opinion.
heavy riders are the heavy riders breaking their wrists? Hold on.
Nope.
Something
Nope.
happening here?
Nope.
No, yeah, you're right.
I've never broken my wrist.
Yeah. Anyway, answering the question, Ben's question was
There was a
simply,
question?
yeah, exactly. What is the piece of gear that we swear by?
Helmet.
Wrist guard.
Helmet.
Going helmet.
Helmet.
Gloves.
Helmet.
Wrist guard.
Helmet.
And for me,
Let's
it's
say
gloves.
elbow guards
And
or
that's-
two.
yeah.
Wrist guard.
Now, Mike, do you prefer the full finger gloves or like the E-skate style, the half finger gloves?
There's only one thing we really need to
This is my preference. My preference is that I don't want to scrape my hands on asphalt, and I don't want my hands to freeze. So in the
Don't
summer,
worry about the head. Just
in
put the
the
gloves
summer-
on.
No, I don't care about the head. I don't care about the head. That's my hands keep my head off the ground.
Yeah.
So that's why I need the hands.
Sure,
For me-
they do.
for me,
You know those hands are not gonna keep that head off the ground in a good fall, Mike. Come on.
It has. He's
Well-
gone through a few of them. He's going
Yeah,
through.
The majority of the time we won't
I-
even hit our heads. But
I like to
there's
say
one
that
time.
that
I'm
I
not
consider
much
my
about-
helmet my most important piece of equipment because it protects my brain.
Yeah.
But my
Yeah.
most
100%.
essential piece, the piece that I'm going to take more often than any other piece of equipment, is my wrist guards.
But you're not wearing
Okay,
a cuff.
because, you know-
Never mind.
I thought you were going to
Because-
say you wear a jock.
No, no, really, my wrist guards. So yeah, the helmet is definitely the most important piece, you know, because you can't put your wrist above your brain. Your brain is your most important tool,
For
you
me,
know.
it's not
So you
that.
want to protect
When-
that.
When you fall 100 times and 100
Right,
times, your
exactly.
hands-
Which is why
your hands touch
my
the
wrist
ground.
guards, which is why my wrist guards are my most essential piece. That's the piece
Thank
that
you.
I
Exactly.
take more
My
often.
gloves.
That
My
is the
gloves.
piece that I take more often. My
Exactly.
gloves.
Exactly.
That's why I said my gloves are my most
Yeah, totally
the
agree.
piece that I'm
Totally
gonna take
agree.
regardless. Yeah.
Yeah.
My gloves.
That's why I'm
Not my
shocked about
helmet,
the helmet.
my gloves.
I would hate to have a helmet, and if I fall down, what am I going to do? Oh, no gloves. I'll just take it on the head.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wear
my
them
gloves,
both.
definitely.
Wear them both, but if you could only wear one.
Knee pads for me, because if I'm just going for a leisure ride, I don't push my wheel. I'm not a super speed guy because I'm still new to this, in my opinion. So knee pads for me are my most important, because if I do go down, I don't, and you know, God forbid I scrape up my knees, that's gonna hinder me riding my wheel because I won't be able to get on my wheel anymore. So I figured let me protect that more than anything. I mean, I know the helmet should be number one, but I did take some martial arts back in the day as well as gymnastics. So I rely on that skill of rolling out of a fall, and I don't ride faster than I can run off or maintain a roll off my wheel. If I am going to go that fast, if I know I'm going to go out, then I'm definitely going to gear up completely. But when I'm doing my YouTube videos, I try not to go faster than 20 miles an hour because I kind of want to interact with the camera, and also you're kind of distracted when you're holding that camera as well. So I kind of want to be able to do both. But if I'm just going around the block or going to the store, something like that, my knee pads are number one for me more than anything else.
Yeah, but just keep in mind, I fell at about 5 to 10 miles an hour.
Yeah, but I'm like 100 pounds lighter than you, and
Still.
I
fell
because
straight down.
from riding skateboard, because like, dude, I've taken some gnarly falls back in the day. I mean, some awful falls, like many a times. And the one thing I noticed is like my head always stayed away from the concrete. You know, I always had the ability to roll out. I mean, I'm going down a 45 grade hill on a mountain bike, and I ended up pulling the front brakes, and I flew. I mean, I was in the air so long, I had time to contemplate how hard and how bad it was going to hurt before I hit the ground. You know what I'm saying? And I know my body can take some punishment. But for me, if I scrape my knees up and I have like scabs and stuff on my knees, I won't be able to do anything. I won't be able to ride. Walking's going to be hard. So like, that's why for me, you know, and I'm not saying to anybody not to wear a helmet or anything like that. Like, I'm just saying that I am confident in my skills and my ability to keep myself protected if I do go down, and I don't go faster than I can, you know, handle when it comes to, you know, not wearing a helmet. So if I'm doing anything over 20 miles an hour, then I'm definitely going to helmet up. I'm going to gear up. I may not put wrist guards on, but I'm going to have gloves on. But anything under than that, no, I can handle that, and I accept the risk. I know what I'm putting myself into. It's not like I'm doing it just to do it. I accept the risk. If something happens, or if I hit a pole with my head, I know the damage I can cause. But I ride with that in the back of my head all the time. So I'm always prepared for a fall, no matter what I'm doing. As much fun as I'm having a conversation with somebody, I'm always looking at the road like, oh, that could slip, or you can slide out on that gravel. That's why I don't ride near cars and stuff like that when I'm not geared up properly. I stay away from everything, you know?
That's exactly what I'm like.
Mm-hmm.
I hate the feeling of thinking about falling, you know?
Yeah.
I hate that feeling. So that's why it'll be 2:00 at night. I'll go out into the city. I'll go and race cars. And then for a second, I'll forget about falling. But sometimes when I'm just like riding and I'm like, yeah, should I be doing 30? Should I do 35? Should I do 40? What if I fall? 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 And the end is just like, oh my God, who cares? That's not why I started doing this.
Mm-hmm.
It's not to worry about falling, you know?
Yeah.
But it's just for me. I just don't like the when I was a kid and I used to fall a lot, man, I would always just scrape up my hands.
Yeah.
I just scrape up my hands. I just like do the Superman slide running, you know, just like off my skateboard going down hills, on my bicycle, just falling down and scraping my hands. And I just hate it with a passion, you know. So for me, I would ride naked and with gloves. I'd like have gloves on and my dick out, you know.
That's how they do it in Sweden, man.
Obviously, that's how they do it in Sweden.
Yeah. That's how we do it in Sweden.
Hey, yo. I guess I'm looking at the jacket like, man, it's cold over there. That's why they wear these thick clothes. But obviously, the pants ain't as thick. Are you walking around?
Is there any
Exactly.
OnlyFans page?
Exactly, man. The OnlyFans page, exactly.
Yo, he getting a whole different kind of road rag.
Oh man, imagine the horror, man.
I can't even. Let's change the conversation.
That's it. Next question, man. Next question.
Okay.
Yeah, what's the next tab on the spreadsheet?
Yeah, the next tab here is so similar. It would be so. I got 3 questions that are pretty much the same. If you're going on a street ride, let's say it's a group ride, you're going to be going all afternoon. What gear are you gonna wear? And what I noticed on this chart is we got 100% of everybody wearing a helmet, knee guards by a point, outright wrist guards. But you know, you got a lot of people here wearing the knee guards, wrist guards, and elbow guards, and that's great.
Yeah.
Wear a helmet, pack your charger.
Yeah. So, you know, I'm still surprised that there's this many people wearing a chest guard. I've never worn one. I bought one, and then I kind of felt ridiculous wearing it.
It looks ridiculous, yeah. It looks ridiculous. At least in a hoodie.
It's not ridiculous. If you feel like that's what you want to wear to feel safe, then that's what you should do.
Well, yeah, I agree with that, but I think if I'm going to do some heavy trail riding, I put it on underneath my clothes or something.
So Ben, last year when we were on the abandoned Pennsylvania Turnpike, that's how you thought I looked ridiculous. I was still wearing one.
Take it to him.
Because I was showing up wearing one.
But that's body armor.
I'm just taking the opinion from my wife when she saw me with it on.
But if I rode at the speeds that you ride at, I would wear one too. If I'm doing
right
upper 40s, and we're talking continuous, we're not talking like one burst here, a burst here.
Right.
No, I'm geared up. I'm gonna have a whole motorcycle, outfit, protection outfit on, because it doesn't make any sense to ride at those speeds with cars around you, and you're not gonna be completely armored up, even with the chest, because if you hit your chest hard enough, you could have a heart attack. There's a lot of things that can happen, even if a hard fall
It's
on your
getting to
chest.
the point now where some of these speeds should be put on the track, and they should be wearing all this stuff.
Starts to look like what motocross people are wearing.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I would wear.
Is it going to get to a point where we should put a limit on it? Like what should be acceptable in public and what should be on the track? Like, is that going to become a thing, do you reckon?
It shouldn't be. It's just like you have a car. You can go buy your Corvette. You do 180 miles an hour in it. Doesn't mean you're going to drive it that fast all the time.
Exactly right. But like, I'm not saying like limit the wheels. I'm saying like, is there going to get to a point where it's going to be like that kind of riding is for the track and this is acceptable in public, or like, do you think it's just going to keep going and
it's not going to change? People going to do what they're going to do.
Yeah. People are going to ride the way they want to ride.
Yeah.
And as long as and every adult, I think, assesses their risk factors differently. I ride the way I ride because I have confidence, like Flip was saying. He has confidence in when he falls, he's going to fall a certain way. I ride the way I ride because I have confidence that
on the same
I know how to work that out.
Set up like that. Like if you're capable of driving at 160 miles an hour, you're still not allowed to do that because they've structured this kind of shit to go, well, it's not really like some people think we can, and you think that's going to end up happening with EUCs.
Right. Well, when I'm riding, I think in terms of safety, I think the thing I think about most is not so much how much I'm endangering myself, but am I dragging other people into my risk picture or not? That's the thing that I think about the most. I express myself the way I express myself, as long as I don't feel as if I'm dragging other people, pedestrians, cars, other riders, and I'm dragging them into my risk picture. That's why when I do group rides, I do group rides a certain way. When I organize group rides, and there's a lot of riders, those rides are conducted a certain way. They're organized. Everybody is, the safety of everybody in the group is priority. We have communication
and you communicate with the group,
right? We have communication devices. But then I have another ride that I do, which I call a G-Mob. That's a different type of ride. Those rides are private.
Is that where you get fucked up and just have fun? Or like...
right. Those rides are private. I don't even post those rides. I just invite people, the riders that I know, that are experienced. I just invite them, and then we go ride. And that's really how that's conducted. Because I don't want to drag people who don't have the skill level into a certain kind of risk picture. And I don't want them to feel compelled, like, I got to try to keep up with these dudes, because then they're endangering themselves. And I'm facilitating.
We call them spirited rides.
Right. And that's so with me, safety is about how, who I'm dragging into my risk picture, because I feel like, I'll take risks, but I don't want to harm anybody else in that process.
I just feel that with the speeds getting faster and faster, they're going to get to the point where they will regulate it like they do with vehicles. Like obviously if you're riding an EUC down a 40 straight and you're doing like 50, like you're probably going to get pulled over. You know what I mean? Like, and then they might end up having to put it on.
You may be right. I mean, regulation may be inevitable, and that's fine. That's fine. I mean, that's fine. It is what it is.
It's gonna be
because we still gonna ride. Listen, that's the one thing I know about the East Coast guys. And some of the West Coast guys. I don't care what laws are in place. We're gonna still be out there mobbing. We're gonna do what we're gonna do. Right.
Hold on a second.
I did like 30,000 miles illegally, so I'm 100% with you there.
Dale, look.
Yep.
If the speed limit is 50 kilometers an hour, this is 31 miles an hour. The speed limit is 50 kilometers an hour in Australia, and the road says 50 kilometers an hour. How fast are the cars driving?
50.
Do you live in some magical fantasy world? In Sweden, in Sweden on a 50 road, the cars are doing 67.
Yep.
Oh, in Australia, you get booked like that.
If
Like,
they do 68,
they don't tolerate that shit here.
If they do 68,
they'll revenue raise as much as they can. They'll do you for everything
good
here.
for
So
your
you've got to
fantasy
do
world.
50.
That's good for
Like,
your
it
fantasy world. That's great for your fantasy world. If they do
Come
68
down
here,
under, you'll see it. Like,
if they do
they
68
just
here
do-
in
they-
Sweden, they will get their driver's license taken. So they do 67. So they
Yeah.
don't get they'll get fined. And you know what they'll get fined? $200. Go speeding every day for 10 years, get caught once, $200.
oh, look, I've saved
No
more
one's-
on
no one's gonna do
31.
No one does 31 on a 31 road here. No one.
No one's
I
out
have
doing it.
It's different here though. Like where I live, if it's 50 and you're doing more than 50, you're gonna get done.
Australia doesn't even count.
Come on, bro.
You have your own fake rules there.
Mate,
Okay,
we sent all our soldiers to slaughter Gallipoli for America.
You're gonna send all your soldiers.
We were the Nazis, all right?
Send all 3 of your soldiers to America. Then.
Oh, wow. All right, so Ben, what were you saying?
All right.
Our army is American. It sucks their dick.
Australians are so polite, following speed limits by the kilometer.
Okay. So I also asked the question about trail rides. Got more people responding with knee guards, wrist guards, elbow guards, but surprisingly, not as many with the helmet. I didn't know why we had 100 on a street ride, but only 89% wearing a helmet on the trail rides. Because I think I'm more likely to knock my head on a tree on a trail ride. Just there's more obstacles around.
That you can't see with the helmet on, so that's why they prefer.
Yes.
Well, I guess it could go that way too.
For
And you're also going slower.
Going on trails, looking down, looking forward, looking down, looking forward. Is that a route? I don't know because I can't see it. Is that a rock? I don't know. And just like this with the full face helmet when you're doing technical trails. So that is a possible reason.
Depends on the helmet.
Depends on the helmet.
Yeah,
If it's a bucket, then it's a bucket. But anything else, even a TSG, amazingly beautifully open TSG, you still can't see. You got to look down like this when you're going to mount the wheel.
You know what's good helmets? The ski helmets, like the POC, that has like it looks like a punter's helmet, and then you have some other ones, some other brands out there that have like just like a metal or some type of bark.
Well, that thing, you know what that thing is for? It's a ski helmet.
Yeah.
The one that Sean uses.
Yeah.
Right? Spelled Hsiang, but finally the world has found out that his name is pronounced Sean. And that thing is so that you don't get the poles in your face when you're skiing.
Look at that.
Right?
Smart.
Not so that you don't get a tree in your face, because the tree will
It's coming through.
It's just choo-choo,
Yeah, I
so
have
that's just for the poles that they don't slap you in the face. So that's like a false safety.
So if you fall flat on the asphalt on your chin with that brace, it's not going to stop.
Good night, man. Yeah.
Yeah, I like the helmet in the woods because a low-hanging branch or something. I don't want that clipping my head either.
I don't want to knock my snags out, man. I'm trying to keep these up. I don't want my snags coming out, man.
I had that happen.
He's
I had
more
a
now.
branch.
Helmet.
I had a branch hit me right in the face. I'm like,
Yeah.
Got you buried in the woods, man.
Yeah. I was like, oh, helmet all day. And what the crazy thing is, I had the helmet on. I just had, at the time, I think I was wearing the motocross helmet and I had my goggles off so I could do something. I was doing something on my phone or whatever. And during the trail ride, the tree said, blah, right in my eyes. I was like, okay, let's put these back on.
Oh, gosh. All right.
Anyway, go ahead, Ben.
Okay. So when you guys go out, I didn't change the slide yet. I didn't show it, but I want to hear what you have to say. What is the gear you carry with you that you're like, oh, I don't want to leave home? I'm not talking about gear. I'm talking like accessories. Like you probably want to have your phone with you because you're going to run your smartphone app.
Mm-hmm.
But what are the other things you like to have with you when you go on a ride?
My number one is my first aid kit, my backpack.
That's smart.
Okay.
It's just one of those things to have in the back of your head. Like I have Band-Aids, I have gauze in there. Like just to have that, I always bring that because, like I said, I ride recklessly. So at least I want to have something. God forbid I scrape my hands or something like that, cut myself or somebody. I have, so my backpack full of, safety, bandages and waters. That's my main thing.
I ride with the backpack.
Couple serviettes and some duct tape.
It's
called a Band-Aid. It's called a Band-Aid. Couple serviettes and some duct tape.
I carry my backpack. I have usually like some type of a flashlight. Multi-tool. I like the multi-tool, just in case you got to tighten up your pedals or screws come loose, something like that. Yeah, just the basic things.
Does your multi-tool have hexes on it?
It does.
Okay.
It does. Yeah. It's it has a screwdriver and then a hex or the Allen keys, whatever you guys want to call them.
Yeah, the backpack. I wear the backpack simply because I can put all that shit you guys are talking about in it.
Exactly.
I have a pump. I have
a pump. I have tools. I have a first aid kit.
I don't carry a pump.
I got all kinds of shit in there just because I feel like I have that kind of luck. If something bad can happen, it will happen to me. So I'm like,
what kind of pump do you use? Because on my wheel, like it's really difficult to get the thingy, like the ones with the screw on. To try and get that on there, it's a nightmare because you got like a millimeter of movement, and like you lose all your air by the time you get it off. So the only runs I can really use are the ones when you go to the servo and you push it on there.
Yeah.
Like, so what are you using? Like those ones where you push them on and they flip it up, they work.
Yeah.
I use that sometimes, or I use an air pump if I'm saying that right.
Yeah, this is the pump that I have, and it you can plug it into a cigarette lighter if you need to or whatever, and it has that like you were talking about.
Move closer to the microphone.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, it has this connector here, like you were talking about.
Yeah.
And then
I can't really see that. You're like this big on my screen. I'm sorry. I'm using my phone. I don't have the technologies.
Yeah, I don't know how you get that on a valve without.
Oh yeah, I see that with the push where you lever it up and it holds on. Yeah, they work.
This is what I use right here.
It works really well. Yeah.
What's that like? That's not like inflated tire or something, is it?
No, this is you charge it up. And
it's a pump. I thought it was like a can of shit you spray in there. And
it's just.
No, this is a full pump.
Yeah.
Don't use that stuff.
I blew up my car tire. I use this to pump up my car tire when I got a flat.
What's the nozzle on it like? Is it a screw on or?
The original one was like the one Cobra had, but I broke it.
Yeah, because you guys ride bigger wheels because sometimes have a straight valve and you can do this. Like I'm like,
I got the screw on one now. I can see that.
Yeah.
Or I'm going backwards.
Yeah, nice. Post a link to the thingy in the comments later if you can, so I can have a look at it.
Yeah, okay.
Because I can't really see it.
Tommy.
Oh shit, that's not my coffee cup.
Duff, do you have anything that you bring with you?
No. To be quite honest, I feel pretty naked compared to what you guys are describing. No, I carry my phone, and that's about it.
Do you run your smartphone app every trip you go on?
No, not.
I don't even pay attention to my phone.
I stopped using EUC World a long time ago. Like sometimes I put it on, but I rarely ever.
I mean, I use Darkness Spot normally if I'm going to track something.
Yeah, I don't. When I ride it, what I take depends on the type of ride it is. We do expeditions that are long. Like we did last summer, we did a ride between DC and Baltimore and back, and that ride was. I think it's like 130 miles round trip. So, yeah. So, we did another ride. It was 200 miles, for a trail ride. That was 200 miles. We do 100-mile rides. The Gladiators, we'll do like 100-mile expeditions. When we do rides like that, I carry more stuff. And basically all the stuff these other guys have mentioned, and I'll take it, and plus some slime. I don't ride with slime in my tires, but I do carry it in case I get a flat. I've never had a flat because I pay attention to my tire pressure, religiously. So I've never had a flat on the ride. I've had a couple of tire blowouts. The tire blowout that I mentioned, I've had 2 tire blowouts. But slime is not going to fix that. So if that were to happen, I'd be in trouble anyway. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, just an automatic pump that set to the pressure that I like for the wheel that I'm riding. A medical kit, first aid kit. I'm sorry. I'll bring. I have these water, not jugs, but these water bottles that you can roll up, and they have the straw in them that filters the water. I bring those.
Oh, dope.
That way I don't have to carry heavy water jugs. I can stop somewhere, fill it up, and drink it. And I keep my pack light. So just basic stuff and I bring a charger. Of course. Yeah. But if I'm just riding around DC, then I don't bring charge necessarily. I won't necessarily bring the charger, and I won't necessarily bring the pump. Because if I do catch a flat or something, I can jump on the subway and go home or whatever. I'm not gonna be in the middle of nowhere. So
or worst case, grab an Uber.
Right, Uber, subway. Whatever. So riding around the city, I tend to carry a little less stuff than I do when I go out on expeditions.
What about lights at night? If you ride at night, what are you going to do?
What?
Expeditions on expeditions, I carry extra lights. But at night in the city, no, I don't bother with that.
So you don't have a blinker on you or anything besides the EUC light?
Usually I don't ride at night, but when I do ride at night, no, it's rare that I do. But I do have a blinker that I can put on my backpack, and I'll put that on and let that blink at night if I'm going to be out at night.
I crazy.
Mine's built into my helmet.
Mm-hmm.
What was that, Josh?
I said mine's built into my helmet, and then you have a headlight on the front of the EUC. I think that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good in the city.
Yeah, I put LEDs on my backpack so I can have the flashing multicolors on the backpack. I have a flasher. I have an extra flashlight. There's an extra light on my MSX just in case, because where I'm at, I'm not close to the city, so it's really dark on my street. And it's just and even the neighborhoods, they're not as well lit as downtown is. If I was downtown, I wouldn't really need much. Like you said, you're pretty much well lit. But where I am, you definitely have to have some extra light with you.
Yeah, it just depends on the situation. I think I'm going to be in that. I anticipate myself being in.
Right.
Since I play a lot with cars, I have quite a lot of lights. I play a lot with cars. I have chest lights that have a motion sensor, so I turn them off and on with the motion sensor.
Oh, okay.
Since I ride with mittens and I can't use my fingers, it's so damn cold. So I have the motion sensor, then they go on, and those are pretty bright. And then otherwise I have the shred light in my hand, and I have that always on strobe. So if a car is going to try to take precedence where he shouldn't, then the shred light will put him and keep him in check. So, you can't really use a horn or a bell or something against the car. But if you use a strobe, I've had to stop a bus now and then when they're going to turn while they shouldn't be turning because, hello, I'm here, but they'll still try. And then they'll just get the strobe, and then they'll just like, whoop, then they'll back off. Wow. So you can really, really manipulate cars and people quite a lot with something like a strobe light. So I use the big shred light, the SL1000, and I always have it on strobe. You just press it, it'll strobe for 5 seconds, and then it'll turn back off.
Okay,
and that's it. Then I have a rear red over here. I have a rear red light, and then I have a front white light. And to me, having lights at upper body level means a lot.
Absolutely.
Just having the lights down at the EUC level is just way too low. So it doesn't call enough attention when you're behind the car. If you're behind the car, immediately behind the car, they won't see you. They won't see the EUC. They'll just see some idiot standing there behind their car, like some kind of
On that note, let's hope that the next generation of the lazy roll and armband lights are rechargeable, because mine
they are.
All right.
Yay. That's the only flaw I got with them. Like, I'd rather recharge them than buy button batteries. Like,
I know.
But otherwise, I hang one off my backpack so people can see. So I've got a light higher up. Because sometimes people don't see the wheel lights. Even though you think they're blurring out of these colors and shit, they don't see it.
No, it's too low. It's too
Dale,
low.
if you can see the private chat that we have for us, I put a link to the pump in there for you. If you can,
I'm probably not in that.
No, you are. You are because you're part of it's the stream.
you are, Dale.
No, I'll have to try and find it later. I don't know how to use this technology very well.
He says while riding an electric unicycle.
I'll send it to you.
Yeah, I was actually thinking about doing this while I was riding, but I thought I probably shouldn't.
Oh man, no, that would not be a good plan, man.
Yeah, all of a sudden, boom, I've hit a curb. Shit. would have been good for entertainment though.
I see Duff has one of my favorite wheels in the background, man. The Z10. If that thing had a bigger battery pack, that would be my main wheel.
They need to remake that thing, man.
I love that wheel. That's my favorite wheel out of all the wheels, man.
Speaking of Duff and favorites, my favorite shirt is my EUC Army shirt.
That goes without saying, right?
All right, let's rock and roll.
Okay.
Next question.
So I asked people what gear they carry, what they value, and a mirror. Is there something else we didn't mention here?
Oh yeah.
46% of people, and I don't know if you guys like a helmet mirror or a wrist mirror or what you guys do.
I don't really use mirrors. I used to use them, but I stopped.
Today, and I really missed having my mirror because it's nice to know if the guy behind you is still behind you or not.
Yep.
Yeah, I stopped using them because I found them to be distracting. Like you had to adjust them every time you put your helmet on. And when you're looking in your mirror, you're not looking at what's in front of you. And, a couple of times I'm looking in the mirror that's hanging off my helmet visor, trying to see what's behind me. And I almost hit someone in front of me. So I found them to be a bother. I find them to be distracting personally. I know there's a lot of people that can use them.
I bought a wrist mirror and I was excited to get it. I used it once and I never used it again because I realized it's like you said, it makes you take your eye off the road.
Right.
I'd rather look behind me, and I know I'm still taking my.
I grab a head check. Exactly.
Yeah.
I grab a head check.
Yeah.
So, I tried. I got both the wrist mirror. I got one that mounts on my wrist. I got one that folds out like a flap off your wrist so you can tip it out. I have one that I can mount to my helmet, but it's like you said, all of them seem to be a little bit of work, and I'm like trying to see, and then the reflection off of it is not the same. So I always end up looking back. I always end up looking back.
Good old head check works best.
Yeah.
But I want a mirror. I just don't.
If you're riding backwards a long distance, it hurts your neck after a while, though. So I think it'll have its benefits for that. Because, like, if you're filming yourself doing it, you can see in your screen. But so I feel that like a mirror would have a advantage there, so you can rest your neck for a little while.
Maybe.
Yeah, that's sort of like a specialized thing you might be doing.
Yeah.
Nobody goes out and jumps on their wheel and, hey, I'm going to ride backwards. I'm just, that's something you're doing if you want to do it. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it makes sense in that situation.
My head.
Yeah, it definitely makes it probably except you, right, Dale? You probably do that. But, yeah, I mean, it does make sense in that. In specialized situations, you do specialized things and you use specialized equipment for that purpose. But for regular riding, I don't use mirrors at all.
Yeah.
Dale, I sent you.
I've never used a mirror, but yeah, I got that. Cheers, man. Thanks for that.
Okay, you're welcome.
Yeah, I said cheers, everyone, but I didn't know if anyone, if you heard it or not.
No, I didn't see a message come back, so I was like, I don't think he got it.
Yeah, I just don't want to accidentally get out of this somehow.
So, what else did you got for us, Ben?
Okay, so what about slime?
Yeah.
Or armadillos?
This is good.
I was surprised the answer here of how many people are actually doing it. It's 39% of the people.
Slime, guaranteed. If you live somewhere where you've got those little fucking 3-corner or 4-corner little spiky prickles and stuff, like I went from changing my tube every 2 weeks to not having to change the tube for a long time.
So you put the sealant in, Dale?
Yeah, slime. Like you can get armadillos and all that, but like majority of the time, slime's done the job for me. And so like, and it's cheap. It's like $15 Australian, which is probably like 10 US or something.
Yeah.
And armadillos is like probably double plus. And it's like slime does the job most of the time. So most of the time you don't even know it's worked, but every now and then you'll see a little green dot on your tire, and you'll be like, on your slime.
I used it. I used slime on my Tesla, and I haven't put anything in my RS yet. So
yeah. I kind of figure it's like
too much is better than not enough.
I think when I used it on a Tesla, I put too much in there. I never noticed it till I went to change the tube, and I was like, "What the hell is that?" So
what did you say, Ben? It gets messy when you actually got to change the tube, but like in between, like it's got a bit of a cleanup. But like when it works, like it saves so much hassle.
Well, that's something too. People that use that stuff on the tubeless tires, you got to make sure you spin that tire around. You see some guys when they take the tire off on tubeless, and all the slime or armadillos, it sets in the bottom of the tire because they don't rotate the tire around. They just put it in and let it sit. You got to rotate that tire around in there.
Oh yeah, if it goes flat, you got to spin it, reinflate it, spin it. Sometimes you might have to spin it and reinflate it 3 or 4 times, but it'll block up, and then like a week later you might have lost 10 psi, but you top it up again, but then it just stays. It'll do its thing. Sometimes it's a bit of a process. You got to top it up a few times, but it does the job, and it saves you so much hassle.
Now I'm hungry, Duff.
Sounds more to me like a hassle to maintain it in your tire. I mean, I do carry slime with me. I mean, if I'm going on a long expedition, I do carry slime with me in my backpack. And like you were saying, Dale, I'd rather carry slime than armadillos.
It'll save you one day.
Yeah, and I do carry it, but I just don't ride around the city or go on expeditions. I don't ride around with it in my tire unless I'll use it if I need it. I'll use it.
I did that for ages, and then on a group ride, I had to put it in this dude. He had one of them. What are those e-skates that looks like a RC car on steroids, whatever they are? He had one of them, and he got a flat, so he used some. And then another mate on an e-scooter used some, and then I gave away the last little bit, and then like 3 days later, I needed it.
Yeah, that's actually happened quite a bit on some of our group rides. I don't have slime in my tire, but I carry it in my backpack. Other people get flats, and I let them use my slime. So
you don't need it until you run out.
Right, exactly. It comes in handy.
Is there an advantage to not putting it in ahead of time besides the instant flat that you would get that you'd have to put the slime in for?
I've never had an instant flat other than a blowout. You know what I'm saying? So I think if you maintain your tire pressure, you probably won't have any problems with flats. I mean, people get pinch flats because they ride with a low air pressure.
How fast was your blowout?
I had a low. It was really fast. I mean, I had a blowout on my MSS once.
And what speed were you doing?
Oh, it was about, I would say maybe 10 or 15 miles an hour. And I was trying to seat the tire in some crazy way. I put low pressure on the tire and said, I'm going to ride around on it with the low pressure to try to help seat the tube. And then I had a blowout while I was doing that. That was the MSS. Yeah. The other one was on a Tesla that had low tire pressure, and I was riding about 30 miles an hour, and it blew out. And I wasn't able to control the wheel.
That was sucked. Yeah. I had a blowout at like 30 kilometers, so that's like 20 miles an hour or something. And I can run like, as I progressed through the wheels, I learned that I can run off up to about 30 kilometers an hour. But when I got onto this thing S and that was 35, that was like what changed the balance sort of thing. So I know I can run off to 30 kilometers an hour, but I had my blowout at 30 and I managed to brake a little bit and then jump off and run out. But at 30 miles an hour, that's insane, dude. Like that.
It was crazy. It was scary. It was scary. But definitely slime works. I'm not going to tell anybody that wants to use it not to use it because I believe it works.
But if you already have the hole in the tire, somebody's asking, Vibes is saying, if you already have a flat, can you put slime in the tire and then fill it up?
You can.
So
yeah,
Vibes,
you can.
just so you know, Vibes, you can do
it's actually a repair. Some people use it as a preventative measure, but it's also a repair solution as well.
As long as it's not like a large piece of glass or something that's put a big hole, like any kind of leak that goes down like over a small period of time rather than just straight down, will most likely get plugged by slime.
Yeah. If it's too big a hole, slime's not going to help anyway.
If you get like a thorn or something, and don't take your wheel apart, just put some slime in it and just pump it up and give it a spin, pump it up again, and you'll be fine.
Yep.
I changed the tire on my V11 yesterday, and I had a friend come over and help, and we were done in 6 hours.
Yeah.
6 hours.
They gotta fix that, man. They need
so we changed out the shock, and you got, there's 64 nuts or screws you have to take out.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And
next time you'll have it down to 4.
Right.
Wow.
I put in a lighter tire, so we had to shave it, and that probably took us a half hour to do that. We used a multi-tool, which made it actually
you're not making me feel good, man. My V11 over there, I'm like, damn, what? 6 hours?
I haven't V11 yet.
Yeah, Kobe, you might as well just sell that V11.
I am. I'm selling the V11 and replacing it with the S20.
Who you selling it to?
I don't know.
Sounds like a great idea.
You talking to him? You talking to him right now?
I'm selling my
you like
V11 too, man.
You like the third person that said that to me. Like, hey, when you're ready, let me know.
Yeah.
All right, we'll talk.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on.
Let's go.
Just to show you here real quick, there's a stock V11 tire, and I put this Shinko 244 on.
Ooh,
yeah,
Ooh, that's pretty.
Yeah,
that is pretty.
So wide, we had to trim off the edges to get it to fit.
What you can use to trim your tires called the tire doctor.
Yeah, well, I used a multi-tool, which is like a vibrating saw.
Don't you just get a file and spin that wheel?
It wouldn't even fit in the wheel well without the shaving it down. Okay, so this question was, where do you typically get your news from? Where do you learn about EUC stuff? So YouTube is the most popular. This was like it's a weird looking graph, but it was kind of like rank these in the order you use. So it looks like Facebook, YouTube, and the Unicycle forum are the top. Nobody's using Twitter probably.
Nope. I watch a ton of YouTube videos, man.
Is Twitter still a thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought the only person that used it was Trump.
He's not allowed to.
He might have been the last person to use it.
He's not allowed anymore.
Oh man, that's funny. I'm sorry.
Okay. So that's enough of your comments, because I know most of you guys are on Facebook or YouTube. So
yeah, you know it.
Yeah.
Telegram's good for a group ride.
Subscribe to my channel, Electric Unicycle.
Yeah.
Subscribe to both of them because I lost access to it. Long story.
Okay.
So the last question was, what's your favorite YouTuber? And I got a lot of, and I'm not showing you all the numbers yet, but these are the ones that got one response. And I suspect these are the same people who took the survey.
I hope I'm not on this list.
That's funny.
And then we can bump it up and we can see who there you are, Mike. You got 2 votes.
Wow. A whole 2.
Awesome. With 3 votes.
I must have seen this survey because I would have voted for Mike.
Okay.
Actually, I would have voted for the injured, but he's not an ESP guy, really.
So we'll go back to looking at. So I didn't want to. 5 votes. 8 votes.
There we go.
Okay. Who do you think's on 11 or 52?
I already saw 52, so I can't say.
Yeah, there's Sean. Comes in with 11 votes.
I don't think I've got that many subscribers, so I'm out of.
And we put at the top, we put Wrong Way. When you see everyone else there, he just kind of blows everybody out of the water.
Yeah. He's probably the most known.
Oh no,
Yeah.
Kuji is probably Kuji just took that year off, so he kind of like fell out of
But
the
that's
spotlight.
yeah, but that's the problem because he took the year off. It was a pivotal time. Like in the time that he took off, you know, many more new riders have come, and a lot of them, if you ask them, they're like Kuji who.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
I heard that he started a Vietnamese roll shop called Kuji's Rolls.
If we go back and look at the data,
Vietnamese rolls, man. That's not an insult. I love that shit. I love it.
let's look at the data here. I also show how many subscribers each of these guys have and how many videos they made. So Kuji has the most subscribers.
Yeah.
Jimmy Chang is next. And Wrong Way. So Wrong Way doesn't have the most number of subscribers nor the most number of videos.
It's funny, but
And,
most people know him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you guys can see how you kind of compare to some of these other people on this list here.
Yeah.
How many do you need to start making money? Because I'm nearly at 100.
Videos or subscribers?
Subscribers.
You need 1,000 to make money.
Yeah.
Oh, well, jeez. I wish I didn't lose my old one. I had like 150.
You'll get back up there.
My friend just hit 1,000. He only makes like something like $50 every 2 months, though. So
Yeah,
it starts out slow.
It takes a long. You can't do it for money. You got to do it just because you love it.
You love
have
to
it,
do
just
it,
have
man.
fun, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the EUC side of it, but I don't really know or love the editing and doing all that crap. You know what I mean?
Hey, that's the best part. What are you talking about?
It takes.
If
It
you know,
takes
how,
work.
if you know how you do it, and you've got a computer.
Yeah, he just air quotes. Computer.
It's like we're gonna shoot the moon with a laser. We're gonna shoot the moon with a laser.
Laser beam.
Laser
You
beam.
can't write a $2,000 EUC and then say computer. You know what I'm saying? That's just like ass backward.
Exactly. Exactly.
Man, I lived under a bridge with an EUC for a little while.
It's like he uses slime, but it's like computers are foreign to him. Computers are my life, but I don't use slime. I've gotten one flat in 25,000 miles. I've gotten one flat.
25,000 miles.
And that was a slow leak. I went for a ride one night.
I need to start
and when I
riding.
got home, I was like, the tire feels a bit softer. And then I woke up in the morning, it was flat. But I mean,
You obviously don't have the same kind of tricks we've got down here.
I ride my tires down to the quartz, you know. So when I take my tire off, then it's because you can start to see the quartz on the tire. And then it's like, okay, I guess it's done. Maybe I could ride it a couple more times.
That's
Maybe
how you
not.
know.
Right.
Exactly. How else are you supposed to know? That's what the cords are there for.
Canvas, we'll better get a new tire.
So tell you when you're out of rubber.
Yeah. Other than blowouts, I've never had a flat.
I know.
Thousands of miles and years of riding. I've never had a flat.
So that's why I refuse
That
to
sounds glorious, but you also get snow and we don't.
I know. But for me, you know, having slime in my tire is just like, I don't know. It's for a thing that will never happen, you know.
I feel you.
Yeah, I'm gonna carry it.
Prior preparation prevents piss poor performance.
I just don't want to be 6 miles down the trail and have a flat tire.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's the thing. Since I've been 6 miles down a trail and another trail and another trail and another 6 miles and another 6,000 miles, and then it's just like this thing isn't happening anymore. Please, God, do I have to keep carrying the pump with me? Do I have to keep carrying the slide with me? You know, for this accident that is never going to happen? Because in the end, if we're going to reason that way, why don't we carry everything? When
You know
we
what?
carry a can of beans and a can opener and a Coke and an extra pack of cigarettes because you never know what's going to happen.
You don't? I carry all that.
You know what?
Good beans in my
I
bag.
carry a pump. I carry a pump and I carry slime, but in my mind, I'm really not even carrying those things for me. I'm carrying them in case someone else needs them. You know, because I don't think that I'm going to need them. I've never needed them when I'm riding. I've never needed them. So, you know, I carry them.
But usually every ride, somebody needs something, though.
Yep.
Yeah. On a group ride, I'll bring a pump. I'll always bring a pump.
Yeah, I bring pumps when I'm on group rides, but if I'm riding alone, I won't always bring that stuff.
No.
I leave the pump at home. I'll leave the charger at home. I sometimes won't even carry a backpack if I'm going out alone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, no backpack. Who am I?
Feels nice.
Yeah.
I don't feel the same without my backpack.
It's scary, but it does feel nice.
Yeah, it feels nice.
It feels different. It feels different. My back feels a bit naked, even without.
It's not like taking your helmet off for a couple of minutes, though.
I just charged up Miss Thickness. I just charged up Miss Thickness. I'm going riding tomorrow, and I probably won't carry a backpack. Supposed to be nice.
I have a level 2 back protector in every single one of my jackets and hoodies. I have a level 2 back protector, you know. But still, if I don't have the backpack on, I'll still feel a bit naked. And so, what if I land on my back? The extra cushioning. The extra cushioning would be great.
Yeah.
At the liquor store, you know, I only buy cans and plastic bottles. Because, you know, I have it in my backpack.
Those cans, they bust. Like, I don't know if you've seen my escalator video, but those cans, they kind of soften the blow of the fall, but they also got my shit wet.
Well, you know, it's that or a glass bottle, so I don't know.
You don't like glass in the back.
Yo, he's stupid. Yo, you Dale, you crazy. Yo, you got his shit wet.
Well, we're here for a good time, aren't we?
Yo, that's it. So go ahead. What you got, Ben? We wrapping it up?
I'm wrapping it up. So that's just my desktop there. So
I thought this was going to go for like 15 minutes. Shit.
No, we never go for 15 minutes. Not
no, I'm joking.
You better let the dog back in. You know, he's probably out there waiting.
No, he would have got back in. So I don't know. I guess this is a lot of information. First of all, I appreciate you, Ben. Thank you for putting that all together, brother.
Yeah, thanks.
And Flip, appreciate you for making all the arrangements to have this done, man, to have us all together, you know, because you know me, I'm all about the positive communication and putting everybody together, a bunch of positive people. It means a lot to me, you know. I don't know how everybody else feels, but I know for me, who rides in Massachusetts where there's like 5 or 6, maybe 10 people, you know, this is a great thing for me. So I love being around us.
Yeah,
you know,
definitely.
I love being around like-minded, positive people who are trying to do things, and we're all looking to the future, whether we look at it and think about it that way or not. Riding an electric unicycle, I know you guys have got the same comment that when you go by, that's the future right there, you know. And honestly, I agree with them, and I know that whatever comes next for us, we're going to continue to push that envelope on whatever we're doing because we are those people. You know, we are not all exactly the same, but we all have that same kind of drive. So when they start flying,
which they will,
they already are.
Right.
But when they become available for us, I have a feeling we'll be doing a panel on those who are riding those. And that's just the way we are because we're those people. But I do appreciate your positivity, all of you, everybody's different view. Definitely with Dale coming from way over there, it was a whole different view. Mike from Sweden, but we all know Mike's a nut anyway.
Yeah.
That's why I was one of the 2 votes, Mike, just so you know. I was one of those 2 votes.
Oh, thanks, man.
Yeah, I just appreciate
Mark, I would have totally voted if I knew, mate.
But Sensei is the one who introduced me to Ben, and when Ben told me that he has this data that he's compiled, I was like, dude, now you're talking my language. Like, there's nothing against everybody's having their personal preference, but when you tell me you have charts and sheets of all this information, I was like, dude, let's do it. And we actually got on the live, but we didn't go live, but we spoke for like what, an hour and a half when we first talked. And I wish we would recorded that because it was just as entertaining and informative. But I once he told me he had this information, I was like, I have to get all you guys involved, and you guys are, you know, the main guys I watch all the time, even with you, I mean, he's not here, but I mean, he's the one that I wouldn't have a Tesla because if it wasn't for him, you know what I'm saying? So let alone just learn how to ride EUC's properties because watching, you know, and you know, Duff is just, you know, Duff was the main person that ever promoted my channel when I had like no followers, you know what I mean? So like,
I
Duff
still don't
like,
have any followers.
That's my guy, you know what I'm saying? Because I had 13 followers until Duff came along, and now like I'm, you know, so and you know, all you guys, I'm a fan of all you guys.
Yeah,
so
I watch a ton of videos.
you know, so I appreciate more than anything you guys just taking time out and joining the stream and just giving us, you know, your input, man. Like this is great.
I appreciate you having me, man.
You know, one video. I watch a lot of videos, but I always say this, and I can say this, Mike, because I'm talking straight to you. The video you made about tire pressure increased my riding skill by a ton.
Yeah.
Now this is just me. Now, again, everyone you ride on any tire pressure you want, but I think some guys just ride entirely too high.
Yeah.
And it's like when you put too much air in a basketball and you go over and it just starts bouncing all over the place and it just upsets the wheel. Yeah.
I used to run 50 PSI. Until I started riding seated, and then I got bounced off the seat.
Yeah, dude.
And the wheels got off down the road.
Dude,
Then now I do 40. Now I do 40 PSI.
Dude, when I got my Tesla, I don't know.
I like the precise
they had so
control
much
with the
air
solid ball.
in the tire. It was like a shopping cart tire. You know, it was like it was just made out of rubber. I'm trying to ride it, and it just kept tipping over, man. It was way too much pressure.
Yeah. Latala, what do you ride your Monster Pro at?
My Monster Pro, I ride at 29 PSI.
Yes, sir. See?
Yeah, 29.
See? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Low tire pressure gang.
I could. Okay, let me ask you this though. How much you weigh?
230.
So you right there with me. Okay. And you ride I couldn't ride it that
What
low.
kind of kilograms for us? Backwards.
Beats me.
I can't convert that.
You're gonna have to do that conversion, buddy.
103.
Oh, 105 kilos. Jeez, you're like 10 more than me.
Let me tell you, I can't ride a wheel with that lower pressure. I'm just so afraid of damaging the rim. And I pulled out the Sherman again. I hadn't been riding that.
Do you
Sherman.
still have your stock tire on?
I don't like the tire roll.
You still have your stock tire on, Cobra, on your Monster Pro?
Yes.
Okay, that's probably. I don't. I have a
Michelin
right? City Pro. I have an aftermarket tire, so the Pro readings are different on that.
Okay.
So 29 PSI is actually pretty firm on that tire.
Okay.
You know,
See,
it's relatively firm. So the pressure is different.
I have that tire. I just haven't put it on.
Yeah. So when you put your City Pro on, you're probably going to be riding around 29.
Okay.
You'll see what I'm talking about when you put it on.
Okay.
Yeah.
I ride at about 27.
I put the Sherman tire. I mean the Sherman. I just pumped it up to ride it again in the last few days, and I put it all the way up to 44.
Ooh. That's rough.
And talk about riding on a rail. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah,
dude.
Yeah.
I gotta let some air out.
Not a fun feeling, man. About 28, 30.
People were trying it out today, and they were like, "Oh,
real talk." 30.
Yeah, I roll my Sherman and my EXN at 34 PSI.
Oh, see,
34.
That's good. That's pretty much a perfect for your weight, having it at that for nice, safe cruising with a balance in between saving the rim and saving your own rim.
Yes, sir.
Let's keep our own rims safe as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the more air you have in it, the more protected it is. But yeah, the bouncier it is, the more thin it is because it's less surface touching the ground.
You have no contact patch.
What
are you supposed to get? Why do we get these wide tires to ride a race?
If you like soft mode, you probably like soft tires too.
No soft tires, no soft mode, no.
No, straight no. I don't think I've ever used soft mode. Like even when I got my Tesla and I'm being a new rider, I was like hard mode.
I ride hard now.
Yeah, no, but
I'm hard mode, hard tires all the way. I like that precise.
Yeah,
like control.
It's easier for tricks. It's easier for tricks though. If you're doing spinning around and riding backward and doing all the things that you're doing, Dale, then I could see why you like the firm tire because it really does this like a lot. I'm like whoa, and I'm
waiting for someone. I'm waiting for someone to make suspension seats for the seated riders because that will give them the same effect as suspension in the wheel would. When they're riding seated.
Yeah, why not the bicycle
someone's going to bring that out.
Why not the
bicycle seat?
They have seats like that.
Someone's going to do it.
Like the pole, like the post.
They have something like that, Dale.
Yeah, but like a seat like, where's my picture? There we go. Like that's got like big springs. So when you like strong springs though, so you hit a bump and it's going to absorb most of that instead of launching you off the seat. I think that's going to be a game changer as well.
There we go.
It's not all going to be suspension wheels. It's going to be suspension seats for the seated riders as well. I think that's going to be a little niche market that's going to come up.
I want to pull up this real quick. I think I can. I didn't see about this screen share thing, but just another reminder.
I got you, Cobra.
You got me?
I got
you. So if you guys get the opportunity, like I said, it's going to be Sunday, September 18th. I doubt you're coming from Australia, but Mike, if you want to come from Sweden, come on, man.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
We need to go visit Mike.
No, Mike. Seriously, I would love to come out to Sweden and ride with you when it warms up, though, because I see how. I'm not trying to ride in the snow and ice, but I would love to go over there and ride with you, man.
I want to get in the summer, the sun sets at like 10 p.m. and it's like goes up at 3 a.m. So it's a good time in the summer.
Oh, that's all night riding then.
That's all night. Yeah. Ride till 10, sleep 2 hours, get up and ride.
3 to like 10 a.m.
Yeah, I might come through Sweden. I did Switzerland and Amsterdam and a bunch of other places, but I may come through Sweden. You may get a message one day, Mike.
Yeah, awesome.
I think Mikey wanted to sponsor me to come over to. You know where Mikey is? Mikey the man.
No, where's he at?
Where's he at? Oh, you know. Sorry, I'm a bit whacked.
I know.
Yeah, where is he? Where is he?
I don't know where Mikey the man is.
Yeah, where's he at? He's not far from you, yeah?
You mean Mikey Swee or what?
Yeah.
And he's like a few hundred
He
miles
mentioned about sponsoring me to come over there, and I was like, I would love that.
He's a few hundred. He's like 500 kilometers from here.
Oh, so it's only a couple of days ride.
Does the Russian seat have springs?
Let's say it's a 5 hours train ride. It's not a ride you would want to do on a wheel.
Yeah, well, still.
Yeah.
It's only a 5 hour train ride. I just traveled 2,000 kilometers to get to where I am now.
Yeah, exactly.
Do this. Yeah, Europe next year. Still, guys.
Definitely.
That's actually my dream.
Yeah. So I guess I really am looking forward to all these wheels coming out, just to put it on that note. But let's see, what's the wheel you're looking forward the most for different people? I know that now that I've ridden the S20 and the Abrams, now I want to ride the Master.
V13.
Yeah,
Ooh.
yeah. For me, I'm gonna wait for the V13 or the Master. And then
The infamous V13. Does anyone know anything about this wheel yet, or is it just
There's like a few pictures of it, maybe.
Name competition, no name competition, rah, rah, rah. Like, is there actually a thing?
High performance from them. They're just saying that it's going to be high performance. They didn't give out a whole lot of details, but that was the one thing because they don't.
I see that they've laid a claim, but is there anything other than that claim that they're coming out with this wheel, or is this just like
it's gonna be a bigger wheel.
Get hype for the brand?
No, you know how hype is for any new wheel. Somebody just whispers a new wheel, and everybody gets into a frenzy.
I think that when V10, V11, V12, and someone's like V13, and
I saw this leaked picture. It looks similar, like
it's not even anything yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
I saw that.
Yeah, that's a picture of what it's supposed to be like.
Right, that's an artist's rendition of what somebody decided they thought it might look like.
No, that's the actual.
That's an official release.
Supposed to be of the two different versions of it. I still don't know if that's 100% accurate, but that's what it looks like.
Right, I like to encourage people to ride the InMotion as well, but like let's just look back a little bit. The V11 had a lot of fucking cutouts at small speed, and then the V12's come out, and now they've got this MOSFET problem. Like, are they going to pick their game up? Like, I'm hoping that this V12 high torque is going to be a good wheel, because that might be my next one. So I'm hoping that they get their shit together on this.
But InMotion is already known for their amazing quality. What are you talking about?
Well,
all the forums
you're
mixing it up with Godway. Godway is
I've been trying to put them in the same league as King Kong, but I can't really do it. But
you know what?
At the same time, I know the King Kong don't make wheels like Gotway makes, but at the same time, if that's the kind of wheel that you want, then they make the fucking best wheels in the world. You know.
Look, you have InMotion and you have King Kong. They have really nice response and they're zippy. Right? They have really nice response and they're zippy. Give me a second, please. Give me a second. Right.
Sorry.
Yeah. Some of us are getting lower and lower, and some of us are getting higher and higher. Right? So, come on, man.
Lower.
And stop.
It's only coffee.
It's 4 a.m. there. It's almost 5 a.m. for him.
Exactly.
No, it's like 3 p.m. No, 2:30 p.m.
All right.
I'll try again. InMotion and King Kong, they're very nice, responsive wheels, and they're fun to ride, but they're not performance. That's it. And just because they're trying to get into the performance game 3 years after the MSX 100 Volt was released, 3 years after, it says like, hi guys, it's 2025. Am I late to the party? Yeah, you're a little late to the party. And they're trying to learn how to make fast wheels now.
I don't agree with that at all.
You don't have to. And people are crashing on the V12. Now they're crashing and the wheels are dying. And now they're just going to release the HT and then they're going to release something else.
Gotway releases stuff that's not safe. And
really?
and they learn from it. They've got a strong, very, very strong history of it, and they release shit that's not safe, and the public test it, and then they find out what's wrong.
What does that have to do with InMotion? What does that have to do with InMotion? I'm talking about InMotion.
Yeah, but but you started referring to the other wheels as well.
No, I was referring to InMotion and King Kong. They are the so-called safe ones.
Well, InMotion has been questionable, but King Kong definitely puts in a different emphasis to safety and quality. And you mentioned about King Kong.
What's that safety on the 16X?
You mentioned that King Kong and InMotion can't make a Gotway performance style wheel, and I'm trying to say that they can, but their emphasis is not on having the most speed and the most power to get the most sales. Their emphasis is on having the least amount of failures to stop them.
And how's that going? How's that going on the V12 so far? How's that going?
Well, I was agreeing with you. InMotion is trying to drop the ball again, like they did with the V11.
Failure rate. It's the
There's
highest
always going to
failure
be a
rate.
debate, guys. There's always going to be a debate.
I don't want to argue. I'm just
but there's no argument. The V12 has the highest. No, there's no opinion. The V12 has the highest failure
Oh, look,
rate
they
of all
bombed out
wheels.
hard. They bombed out hard.
It's not an argument, and it's not an opinion. The
They
V12
bombed out hard because they had a shitty supplier.
Actually,
All right, so maybe we should move on, guys.
Yeah.
On to something more positive.
No, let them go at it.
We'll talk about this later, Mike.
Looking forward, some of you guys have mentioned
We'll chop it over later on, Mike.
All wheels are dangerous.
But I agree with you.
I think that's how we got here. So
well, you know what?
There's 100% a different level.
I think all wheels would be safe according to you, Dale. Your idea of what I'm getting from your idea of safety. If all wheels went, 30 miles an hour or less, I don't think we would have any safety issues with it. I don't think we would have the fires. You're comparing, as Mike was saying, you're comparing kind of like apples to oranges. Bigote makes performance wheels. These wheels have powerful motors. They have powerful high voltage. They have powerful batteries. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have more failures on situations like that. That's a more volatile kind of platform than the platforms you have with the wheels like King Song. I mean, none of their wheels go more than 30 miles an hour. So if they're not having failures on fire, I didn't have a whole bunch of issues with my King Song wheel either, but it wasn't. The limits on those wheels are so far from what they could actually do. It's very difficult, you know what I'm saying, to have these kinds of problems with King Song wheels because you're not even getting close to the wheel's actual limits. They're restricting everything, whereas you don't have that problem with more powerful performance wheels. So
I understand this, but can I just explain myself for a second? My point was, it's not the King Song and InMotion can't make this sort of high performance wheel. They're set out to make a different kind of wheel.
Well, I would like to see how their failure rates go when they actually succeed at making a wheel like this. When their wheels are out on the market, I'd like to actually see what's happening with wheels. We're talking about failure rates. You're comparing 18 XLs and 18 Ls to Monster Pros. That's not the same thing.
The way they operate.
Right.
These companies operate completely differently. Like, it's not the King Song. I'm not saying that Gotway aren't dope because they are, but what I'm saying is at the same time, it's not the King Song can't make that. It's they've chosen to choose a different path and go for more reliable.
Because they're preoccupied with failure rates, like you said. So they make safe wheels that won't fail. And they stay within a certain performance parameter in order to make that business model successful. That's why they do it.
Performance wheels.
Right. They don't make performance wheels.
And then we're back to where we started. There's only one company making performance wheels. There are two other companies that have tried to make performance wheels.
Perform extremely well.
And the performance wheels that, like he said, that InMotion is making, their performance wheel has a lot of failures.
Exactly.
It has a lot of failures. The one that they make, it has a lot of failures.
I'm agreeing with that, but you're talking about InMotion there.
Or even the other performance company.
Well, InMotion, King Song hasn't made a performance wheel yet. King Song has yet to release a
InMotion's fucked up.
Where is King Song's performance wheel? They still don't have one.
The S20, they just dropped it, and Leahy's
go buy one. Go buy one. Go buy one. Go buy an S20. Go buy an S20.
I'm not here to argue with you, Mark.
No, but go buy an S20. You can't buy one. It's not available
of course,
for sale.
I'm too poor. I'm kind of poor.
It's still in beta. No, it's not available for sale, Dale. It's not. Yeah, it's not. It hasn't been released yet. It's still in beta. They're still working on it. It's not even done yet.
Oh my God, wait, Wills.
They're just doing the same with the S20 that they did with the 16X. The 16X, when it was released, it had the same oscillation error.
All I'm trying to say is they are different types of wheels. It's not that King Song aren't capable. They're making a different type of wheel. And can't we agree on that? Like, why am I under?
But you also have to accept that failure rates are going to be different largely because they're different types of wheels. You can't compare the failure rate of one type of wheel to the failure rate. You can't compare the failure rate of a Toyota Camry to the failure rate of a Ferrari.
Right. You can when one of them had a solid history of all these problems and the other one's had a pretty clean one. That 100% is a factor, and that should be factored into it.
What's the solid history of problems?
If you want a fast wheel and you want to gear up, go for a Gotway 100%. Like, that's going to give you that fucking adrenaline rush that you're after. But if you're go for King Song, and that's just the way it is. Right?
Okay.
That's just the way it is. Like, I don't know how we can even disagree on this because it's just a fact.
It's not a fact because you say it's a fact.
Yeah. It's not a fact. It's your
they
opinion.
operate very differently.
But it doesn't matter. You
One
said
of
there
them's
was
got
a
a
history.
solid history of failures, and one of them's got a pretty almost squeak, except for the S18, got an
Where's the
almost squeaky
history?
clean history.
Where is the history of failures for the Gotway wheels? Where's the history?
Have a look through the groups, mate. Have a look through the groups.
I have
It's been
seen
going,
throughout the
it's been
groups.
going
I'm
on for
asking
5
you.
years.
I'm asking you. Why
I'm not here
is-
to be attacked about my opinion on Gotway,
You're
because
not
my
being
opinion on
attacked.
Gotway is valid, because
You're
I've
not
sold
being
wheels for 5 years. I've done 60,000 kilometers. I've had 11 myself, and the only ones that have ever failed me have been the Gotways, and the only ones that I ever had to repair out of my customers have been the Gotways. So
No one's
my
attacking your
opinion is
opinion.
valid. Like,
When
I'm not
I
here to be
say my
attacked,
opinion,
man.
when I
I'm
say
not
my
here to be
opinion,
attacked. I'm just
then
giving
you're
you the
arguing,
blatant
and when you
facts
say
about
your
it.
opinion, I'm arguing.
They're not
That's all that's
making the
happening.
same kind of wheel, and it's not that they're not capable of making a Gotway
You're
style
saying
wheel.
your
Their
opinion. I already
emphasis is
heard
in
your
a different
opinion.
position.
I said my opinion. When you
All
said
right,
your
mate.
opinion, I said
Okay.
my opinion.
Moving
Are we
on.
both-
We can all agree
Are
on
we
that.
both
Everybody
allowed to
has
say
Yeah,
our
moving
opinion?
on. Right,
Well, yeah, we can agree. Everybody has an opinion.
Exactly.
Well,
Right?
mine
nothing to get
comes
upset
from
about,
an abundance of experience. So, you know, you can either take it on or you
But
can
then you're in
laugh it
the-
off because your views
Are
are
you
different. It's up to you.
Your opinion is worth more than the other's opinion? Is that what you're saying?
No, it's not worth more than anyone's opinion, but it's still valid, is what I'm saying.
Everybody's opinion is
Is that,
valid. We already agreed on that.
am I incorrect here? Why are you attacking me, Mike? I thought we were mates.
I'm not attacking you. Nobody.
You kind of are, man. Like,
Am I kind of vile?
All right, Ben, do you have any more data?
Some data, man. Come on.
I would just say,
Data,
you know,
Ben, come on, we need some data, man.
I
We need
tried.
some
Y'all
data to
seem
save the
want-
day
y'all
here,
seem to
bro.
want to see a duel, so I'm like, let it go. Y'all seem to want to see that. To me, this is the kind of conversation that we always gonna have because we all have opinions. But I don't know if I don't know if it's interesting viewing, but maybe it is. I don't know. Y'all went on a spar session, so
Bam, bam.
I know what the fuck.
I don't know what happened, but anyway, did we get?
It's
I don't know
awful.
if everybody got through what they were saying about what they wanted or which wheel they were looking forward to.
I'm looking forward to the Master. I took the S20 off my list like months ago. I've been talking about the S20 is just not. It's a pretty beautiful Ferrari that I just know that once you crash it, it's gonna go to pieces, and it's just something that it's great to get everybody excited to talk about. But when I saw the Master, being that I'm not a Gotway super fan, but I love Gotways. I mean, you can say what you want about Gotways and about these fires and all this other stuff, but from what I've seen since I've gotten to the scene, Gotways have been the main essential high performance wheel that hasn't. My Gotways have never failed me. So I could be just as biased as anybody else and say, well, I haven't seen any of this stuff that you guys are talking about. So the Master is top of my list. That's the one and I don't foresee me buying a wheel for another year, if not longer, because something's gonna have to die first before I shell out that type of cash, because I've already have enough invested. But once maybe once I sell a wheel or something like that, the Master will be the one I would get, and that's it. I'm good for a good long time after that, hopefully.
We all say that.
Yeah, we all say that one. But I won't hold you to that one, Flip. I'm not gonna hold you to that one, bro.
Hey, let me ask you something. How many times have y'all said that? I know I've said it several times. This is the one. I'm good, and then something else comes out.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. For me, the wheel is that I want to get, that I would get next, is definitely the Master. That one is at the top of my list as well. It's unprecedented. It's 134 volts. Exactly. 3,500. I think it's 3,500 watt motor. I mean, that thing is incredible. So I definitely would have to have that in my stable. And I mean, I don't see anything else that really interests me to the same level.
It's the same. It's the same for me. I just want something that is like nothing that I have is close to it.
Yeah.
Because I mean, if I want to do 45 miles an hour, I'll go do it on my EXN. I don't need to do it on an S20.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. I want to do 55 miles an hour on a Master.
Exactly.
That's what I want to do, right?
Right.
And I want to go up the most ridiculous hill that I can think of, on the master. And if I do, I do. And if I don't, I don't. It's no big loss. But really, you know, to have like the 55, you know, to just have like this ridiculous speed. And then of course it sucks about the batteries on the S20 and the master, right? They're both 4P configs, right? So then we're back to these 4 parallel configs like on the MSP and the RS. And then the whole circle is going to repeat. But you know, it's higher voltage. It's higher voltage.
Well, higher voltage is a key. So did everybody, I don't know, Ben, if you chimed in, what you looking at next?
Well, honestly, I'm not looking for anything. My V11 does what I want. I don't want more speed. I don't ride it. I don't ride past 25 typically. You know, I've gone 30 before, but I'm not interested in speed. I want to explore. I want to hang out with people. The wheel riding to me is so much mental health relief that I just want to enjoy what I've got and soak in the moment.
There you go.
So I want to bring more people into the community. I think I want the community to grow, and I can predict based on results from last year that it's going to grow a lot this year. And we need to keep in mind that not everybody's going to buy the latest wheel.
No.
InMotion still sells more wheels than anyone else, and they don't have, you know, these super fast wheels. I just think that you know, I'm just happy where I'm at. You know, I'm still enamored by what I've got, and I'm thinking, and Josh prompted me for this, is like, do we really want to be spending $4,000 on?
No. The prices, man. The prices.
Yeah, being in high school, someone who wants to get into EUC.
You know, I don't have an ATV, I don't have an RV, and all that stuff because I don't want to spend that much money on it.
Yeah. So I want more wheel for less.
Yeah. Amen. Amen.
Can somebody make that happen? Hey, Duff, what are you looking at next, man?
Well, the S20, of course, because I have one coming. The only other wheel that I would consider buying this year, if it happens, is the V13.
Okay. Okay.
After today, I would say S20 is not for new riders. I would not no, seriously. The thing with the wheel, it's like I said, it's a buttery smooth, but you learn how to ride, you're going to dump the wheel. You dump that wheel a few times, some pieces are going to come off. That's why I would say for more advanced riders, I would say an S20.
Yeah.
Anyone on here can ride the S20.
Yeah.
Like for new riders, I would say hold off.
I will put another plug in for that because somebody in the comments said something about larger riders not being able to ride certain wheels, and they mentioned the S20. I'm telling you, the S20 can take whatever you can put on it. I was leaning this big boy weight because right now I'm at 235, and I was leaning on it, and it was handling it like nobody's business, and over bumps. I was hitting because where we were riding was a bunch of speed bumps, and it was eating them like candy.
There was, dude.
Yo, and so I mean, I just want to put that out there just so people know, because some people have said that to me. I don't think it can handle. I said, well, that's why I do it. I get on them wheels because I want to see if they can handle this big boy weight. Yeah. And it was definitely a ride to remember. I'm very happy I did it. Very happy I went out there today, because it made me happy that I got a pre-order in and that wheel's on the way to me. So Dale, did you say what wheel you're looking at?
I don't know. I'm still undecided. I'm thinking maybe the V12 high torque if they get it right. But I'm a bit, with emotion lately. So, they kind of fucked up with the V11 at the start, and they fucked up with the V12 at the start. And I'm thinking maybe this is going to be a bit of a pattern, like with some other companies.
Yeah. Okay. And I think you said.
But look, Kingsong had problems with the S18. That's undeniable. But they all electronics have a degree of failure.
Yeah.
But just some of them just try and make that lower than others, and that's just what I appreciate.
Okay. Sounds good. I know it's a year for wheels. It's unprecedented the amount of wheels that are coming out.
What? Even touch like 8 when I joined the EUC community. There were like 8 wheels that everyone was riding. That was it. And like now we have 18.
Yeah, easily. It's crazy the amount. But again, I don't know about you guys, but I'm excited about the future because I'm excited for more to come.
Absolutely.
When they can now do wheels like the S20 and the Master, and they can raise the voltage and they can do this and that. You know I'm just excited about the fact that moving forward we're gonna have so many options. Again, like I said, excited but scared.
Yeah.
Let's propose for cheaper battery options.
Excited for the wheels, but scared for my pocket.
Yeah, the price, they got to work on the price, man.
I got to work overtime.
Well,
but the Master and the S20 aren't so bad, right? Like $3,000.
Yeah.
No, S20 Extreme Bowl, those are going for $4,000. I'm pretty sure.
No, S20.
No.
3,000 for about $3,200.
Yep.
They're only like $5,000 Australian, which is like $3 and a bit, I think.
That's like $1 million in Australian dollars.
They want to sell the Hero for $4,000.
But a Hero
the Master that's better, cheaper than a Hero.
Oh, but you know what happened with the Hero? This is a funny thing. Like Godway is really, really responsive. Every time we say something, they make a wheel. We're like, you know what? We need a better quality wheel. And then they release the Hero. Expensive as hell.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like the quality is really good. It's totally different than all the other Godway wheels. It's just like the plastic is insane. The pedals, everything is like all this metal all over the damn place. And it's just like, and then we're like, why is it so expensive? And they're like, but you asked for good quality. Yeah, but that doesn't mean we wanted to pay more for it. How dare you?
Right.
It's like, damn, so the Hero is really like, it's a whole entire new class.
That's how we are.
Yeah, I know. But they just listen. They're like super responsive. They're really responsive.
They're a little too responsive.
They're too responsive.
like legit, man. They put out every iteration of every wheel.
Yeah.
It seems like they make one change, they put out another wheel.
Yeah.
They make another change, they put out another wheel. I'm like, come on, guys, make them better, not more.
Like the Commander. Have you tried the Commander?
I didn't get a chance to yet.
The Commander is a bigger EXN. It's a tiny bit heavier, but it's perfectly balanced.
Yeah.
It's just perfectly balanced. So every time you give it input, forward, backward, and to the side, it just answers really, really nicely. And the EXN is back heavy.
Yeah.
So as soon as you stand on the EXN, you're riding backwards. And then you have to like accelerate beyond that.
Tilt your pedals.
Yeah. But the Commander just felt amazing. It was just like on the Commander, high speed, and it felt amazing. But the high torque felt really sluggish.
Yeah.
But I mean, again, we're back at this, sniffing around the $4,000 again.
It's too much.
Nope.
And then the Master for $3,000. Then all of a sudden, that's a steal.
Yeah, 2,500 it was a lot. I was like, if we could keep them around 2,000, that was a dream. That wasn't happening.
Jeez.
Yeah, I mean, for me, as soon as I was looking at the X20S, if they were going to do a speed version, but instead of doing and I was asking for a speed version. When you guys going to do a speed version, of the X20S? But instead of giving us the speed version of an X20S, they gave us the Master, which I think is even better. So, so that once that wheel was on the table, I really have very little interest in anything else, even that Godway is doing, with the Commander and the,
Right.
The Hero and the other wheels.
That's part of the problem. They made their own wheels obsolete.
Right, exactly.
Like, they spent money on designing these wheels and putting them out, and they made their own wheels obsolete.
Yeah,
like,
well, it's better they do it than someone else.
That's that's just bad business. I'm like, damn.
It's better they do it than someone else.
Wait a second, but you guys have like 50 different kinds of breakfast cereal. What are you talking about? We have like 3 now.
And it all tastes the same.
Yeah, but those 3 that you have I bet you are a lot healthier than the ones we have.
Well, I hit the jackpot the other day. I found Lucky Charms.
Oh yeah! Why you don't have them over there?
Come on, man.
Oh man, it's been like 30 years. It's been 30 years since I had Lucky Charms.
Oh wow!
I even remember the commercial.
You gotta send you a goodie bag, man.
Yeah.
Well, you know what's crazy is he's saying Lucky Charms. Now I got to go upstairs and eat some.
Oh man!
You just messing you all up. Thanks a lot, Mike.
Frosted Lucky Charms.
I don't even eat cereal like that. He gonna have me eating Lucky Charms in the middle of the night.
I want to know since when are marshmallows part of a balanced breakfast? That's all.
It's the marshmallows. I love the marshmallows. Count Chocula, the chocolate marshmallows, also. Chocula, one of the Frankenberry
and blueberry.
Well,
blueberry.
I don't know about you guys, but I got some VR I need to get into.
Facts. Oh, yeah. Let's go, Cobra. Let's go. It's definitely it's definitely VR time.
I got the VR we need to get into. So.
I'm sitting here thinking like, damn, I could be playing Gun Raiders right now.
Good stuff, guys.
Yeah, we got. Let's wrap it up.
Thank you guys for inviting me and inviting. You know, this has been a great panel. I had a lot of fun tonight. I really appreciate, spending this time with you guys. It's been very positive, and I appreciate all of you, man.
Yeah, let's do this again sometime.
Hopefully we can do it again sometime real soon.
Same.
Yeah, man.
All right. And shout out to the chat, everybody in the chat. I feel bad because usually we get to all your comments when we're usually doing a live stream, but obviously you understand with the circumstances we couldn't get and read out each individual comment. But we
love y'all. We appreciate y'all.
Yeah, for watching, for sharing. Like, one love for all you guys for participating. And if anybody else has anything to close out with, please feel free. Duff, you've been kind of quiet.
All the panel people.
I've just been listening, man. I've been observing. I'm used to doing 4-hour live streams where it's just me talking nonstop. So this is kind of nice,
Awesome.
Hey, and also I just wanted to say a big thanks to Ben for putting all the work in to make.
Yes, sir, Ben. Thank you, Ben. Thank you, Ben. Thanks for gathering all that data, man. It's awesome.
Yeah. And we appreciate Josh, your neighbor. Thanks, Josh.
Yeah, thanks for letting me call.
Josh. Keep it real, man.
Keep it real, man. Keep riding. Keep riding.
Josh, what do you got there behind you? Is that beans? Is that for your next ride?
Where?
I said that earlier.
No,
over your shoulder.
That's when the Apocalypse Chapter. We're going to Josh's house.
Yeah, man. There's plenty of food here.
The zombies attack. We know where we're going.
Yeah,
we're coming to Josh.
Riding EUCs through the horde.
Oh, you know it. You know it. Oh, you know what? That's funny you say that. I'm gonna share one thing before we go. And I wish I had it on my computer, but thinking about the zombie apocalypse and all that craziness, I went the other day and had to pick up. I purchased my weapon from my job. We changed weapons, and I purchased the one that
that's
the
not
old
social.
one. So they in the store. The guy he said, "Here, check this out."
I don't know if we can see it.
Okay, that's a big weapon, man.
You guys see that thing?
That's huge.
Cobra, don't let me go to my gun rack. Put that photo away. Don't let me pull out the arsenal of it, especially online.
That's the next live stream. We having a gun show.
Right. Don't do it.
This is for rabbit hunters that don't like eating rabbit.
That's a shotgun.
Yeah, listen. I have one the same way. 9 in the clip, bro. Like it.
That magazine is 20 shotgun 12 gauge rounds.
What? 20?
Oh my god.
He's like, hey, you're law enforcement. You can purchase that. I said, dude, I don't do guns like that. I said, I'm not that big into it. I'm like, no.
That's a gun there, man.
I'm like, I know law enforcement and military, but I'm not into it like that. Sorry, bro. I said, you got the wrong one. He said, just check it out. I said, here, you can take a picture, but I ain't buying this shit.
How much was it?
I don't know. It wasn't an EUC, so I wasn't interested.
Man, come on.
It wasn't $4,000.
Come on, man.
If it was a wheel, he would have had my attention. But anyway, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to send us off in another tangent. You guys have a good night. We'll check each other out again. I'm gonna do a stream next week. We got some more things coming, so I'm sure I'll talk to you a lot of you guys then. Flip, I'll see you in a minute.
You already know, brother. Hey, Duff, do you play Gun Raiders?
No, I haven't heard of that one.
Yeah, you should. It's a free game. It's a shooter up, but it's really, really fun. It's like low impact. It's not like playing Call of Duty or something like that. But I was gonna message you that like a week ago and ask if you played. But
did you get Zine?
Jump into the wall?
No, I did not. I talked to Cobra about that. I actually it's on my list. It's on my wish list. I just didn't buy it yet.
I got Zenith. I was playing last night. I threw a live stream up. I was doing it yesterday.
I bought it, but I haven't played it yet.
Okay. So I'll put it on the queue.
Well, since you're up, Duff.
Hey man, come on! I'm old, man. I gotta go to bed. I'm playing pickleball early tomorrow morning.
Oh shit!
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, go get some sleep because I ain't doing that.
All right.
I don't gotta do that no more. My knee is like, nah, I don't do that no more.
Yeah.
So, all right,
Yeah,
you guys.
man. I'm about to go get my beauty rest too, guys.
All right, guys. Have a good night, guys.
It's been real.
Have fun, everybody.
It's been a pleasure, guys. Take care.
Take care, guys.
All right.
Nice
All
to see
right.
you all.
Mike,
Yes,
thank you,
sir.
man. I really appreciate you staying out this late with us, man.
All right, thanks.
It's early now, 6 a.m. man.
And we still want to have you on as a guest, just by yourself, Mike. Eventually, so we'll do it earlier, so you don't have to be up as late.
It's no biggie, man. It's cool.
Yeah,
it's cool.
Sure.
It's like perfect. Now, if I actually start working now, then it's like I've gone up early.
True.
It's just like waking up early. It's awesome.
I've done it. I pulled it all night. I was like, well, it's already 6. I might as well just make a coffee and go to work. So
it's just I have to go to the dentist also at 12 in a snowstorm, and I'm gonna get my prosthetic tooth implanted finally.
That's a process, man.
Yeah,
I'm a bit disappointed you didn't dance for us, though. I love your moves.
An early
Dale,
morning
I
dance.
appreciate you hanging out too, man. Like
man.
I appreciate you coming through all the,
Yeah,
even though you're coming from the future, but I appreciate you hanging out and participating. Man.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted you on, because I knew it was going to be a great dynamic having, like I said, everybody from different corners of the earth, and everybody has their own opinion. So that's why I wanted to have you on, bro.
Yeah,
So
thanks for bringing
bro.
up the word from the future. We appreciate it.
Yeah, well,
He already knew what was gonna happen. That's
Hey,
right.
Mike, if you play Gun
I
Raiders,
know, but you still don't listen.
Pardon?
No, good on you guys. Thanks. I'll catch you next time.
definitely.
All
right.
Mike,
Okay,
if you
guys.
play Gun Raiders,
Thanks,
make
Ed.
sure you add me.
Sensei.
Flipperoo, add me, and we can get down because I'm trying to get a crew together for Gun Raiders. So
Yeah, I don't have a computer.
no, I know.
That's
Yeah.
for the
I'm
Mike,
just hitting the road and traveling around and going where it takes me.
in the chat because he said Gun Raiders slap. So
Yeah, nice.
man.
All right, see you guys.
All right, bro. Later.
Cheers. Thanks for having me, Flip and Sensei.
Anytime.
All right,
but we can have you
All
back
right,
on as a guest,
anytime,
bro.
guys.
Take care, guys.
Later.
Peace.
Peace.
And now the shit talking starts. Jesus.
This is it for me. No more live streams. I'm done.
Oh, you're not done. You're not done. This is what live streams are all about.
That's what it's all about.
I've been
hanging out all day today.
I've been hiding this T-shirt from Sensei for this whole call. Look at this.
Hell yeah, let's
Hey,
go.
I'm about to have a steak. I'm about to have a steak when I get on here. Dude, honestly, I think I have to be the most nonchalant vegan out there, man.
As you should be though.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be that guy. You should be that guy, man.
I'm gonna find one of those shirts. I'm gonna put it on in the video.
You subscribers, you better stop playing. You better
It's also it's just a personal thing. It's just like a personal thing.
Yeah, I don't jam it down anybody's throat. Eat what you want to eat. And
I
that's
mean, that would be like me being offended because someone's eating broccoli, you know?
Right. No.
I start throwing hot dogs at them.
Dude, I think I said this before. I had mentioned that I used to fish, and I used to fish when I was a kid. I fished for years. People unsubbed to my channel because I said that.
Let me end the broadcast.